The biggest door, the biggest opening on your home is the garage, and you don't want to skimp, man.
No,
you
no,
want to
no.
do it right.
If you got a loud, old,
Rickety,
rusty garage door,
gross.
I'm telling you, me and Daniel got the silent package. I know Seth got it. Our buddy Tony got it. Your father-in-law.
Yeah, my father. Well, he got a full, brand new garage door. In fact, he had them back out. He got this new version where the actual unit is side-mounted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like sideways?
Oh, yeah. No, just,
no, that's a fancy one.
Yeah, you got the fancy. But I'm just saying, Precision Garage Door, it's all they do.
Yeah.
They will come in a van or a truck that is branded. You will have confidence.
They're technicians.
Yeah, super fast, super quick. I had an instance last week where my garage door opener was opening a brand new garage door in the neighborhood.
Oh, really?
They came to my house same day. In 1 hour, she diagnosed the problem. Do you want to know what happened?
What?
It was a fluke. He had been programming his garage door as I was leaving to get coffee, and when I pressed the button, he was actually programming
really?
it, and that's what happened. And the lady from Precision diagnosed the problem and fixed both our garage doors. It didn't even charge the guy.
Here's the number to call, 407-710-BDMS. That's BDMS. All you have to do is call that number. They know it came from us. You get 5% off a brand new door if you want a brand new door. Also, get the silent package, Wi-Fi. You can control the door with your phone.
Oh,
easy.
yeah. Peace of mind, man.
It's Precision Door of Central Florida.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Today's topic, fantasies. What say you, Tom?
I was just telling you how I love fantasies.
You said you were a man of fantasies. If this was Fantasy Island, I would be the little guy.
The
plane guy, yeah. Weird. Is it weird that a little person seemingly had never seen a plane before? But he was just letting the boss know that the fantasy people were coming to the island. And he was he a warlock or a demon? And he would show you, and you would live your fantasy, and then decide whether your fantasy was good or whether the fantasy was purely just fantasy, and you would be better off without said fantasy. Is that how it worked?
I've never seen that show. I don't even know.
Way before our times.
But his name was Tattoo, right?
Tattoo,
the little guy.
Yeah. But I think his real name was Hervé Villachez? Hervé Villachez?
Because I know that because the Dice Man get a tattoo from Fantasy Island on your foot, and I rolled the book.
Now that's creative. A tattoo of tattoo. Not to be confused with the girl band. There was two girl singers, Tattoo, that were not lesbians.
So I said I misspoke and I said I like dreams, and then Samantha says I thought you hated dreams, and then
she's always waiting for you to slip up.
Yeah,
everybody around here just come on, you slip up, you idiot.
And so my wife is like that. My kids.
How's it like living a life where everybody is just looking at you and you're Captain Banana Peel?
That's fine. That's how I like it, because then it's always a test. I'm like, I'll show you, but I never show.
Yeah, you don't.
I always
we wait for it, though. Who? Shame on us. Because you keep telling us that you're going to show us, and so far, I'm just saying, no showing. So you would imagine that we would bail after a while, but we're not. I'm all in. I've never been more in. I'm more into this than I am my own family.
So I said I like dreams, and Samantha said I thought you hate dreams, and I was like, oh yeah. I misspoke. I like fantasies.
Yes.
Dreams are nonsense.
Fantasies, though.
Fantasies are what you want to happen and where you optimally want to be, or whatever. It's a fantasy.
You're a man of fantasies. You're a manasy.
Dreams, not to steal a Mitch Hedberg joke, are like building a go-kart with your landlord.
Okay.
It's absurd. So anyway.
You could have stopped with just not saying the joke.
No, I said
I know.
Because I want people to know that I like Mitch Hedberg.
Well, if you're going to do it, you have to say it and then give it a beat and then go, Mitch Hedberg.
I like butchering it, so it's not funny. And then people are like,
and then just go, God, look it up.
I forgot why we were talking about.
Well, we're talking about fantasies because you said you're a man of fantasies, and you said that you like all kinds of fantasies. You like sexual fantasies, which me and Sam were like, whoa! And then you said, I like Fantasy Factory. Then I'm like, he is going full Gump here in a second. It's going to be all the shrimps.
No, but it's,
So what is your latest fantasy, sir?
Oh, well, Samantha heard a little bit. My fantasy is to get a sauna now in my backyard.
Okay, well, is this to perpetuate some of your wife's Swedish heritage? And they are known to love the saunas.
Yes.
And they love a steam or a hot heat, or I don't even know what it is, really.
You already have a hot tub.
Yeah, but the sauna, it gets you like to a higher temperature. The hot tub will only go to like 104, 105. I mean, I got the propane, like it'll maybe get to 107.
Yeah.
But that
107.7, 104.1, 105.9.
But the sauna, you can get you real hot, and then that's where I guess
is this one of those
lives.
wooden boxes?
Yeah.
And you're going to have that, and now is it going to be outside? Or is it going to be inside? Because
no, outside.
Okay, you already cannot do this because it will become a mold factory in all of a day.
Not a wet sauna.
Well, no, I'm saying the exterior of it. If it's outside with that nice wood exterior, it's going to look like crap. You have to get it out from under the oaks.
Not out under the rain, under my porch.
Oh, okay, then it'll be fine.
It's outside, but it's under the, just put
it. Now I understand. Because some people do put them in their yard out of way, and then some people
He's already got a lot of junk in his yard.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is more junk.
He's got raccoon house.
A sauna is just steaming your junk. Right?
Like, fog playground.
But I think that's the key.
Now, last week it was how cold can I get my body?
Yeah, you're going to extremes.
How hot can I get my body?
Because I guess, they both, doing the cold is cheaper, but it's hurts.
The cold.
It hurts more, it's harder.
Well,
right?
you need some grit.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, but I don't have it.
Yeah, and I don't want to...
Too much of a pee.
And we've said, just to clarify for the listeners' benefit, we've said multiple times that if you got up at 6 or at 6:30 like you normally get up and just walk straight into your pool, that we think you would have basically the setup without even having to create a setup.
Yeah. It's already there.
But you don't want to do that.
Dude, it's just too hard. I'm too much of a pee.
All right.
So you're going to have a sauna built in your backyard, probably use it for a week, and then abandon it.
Now, where do you get... Where do you...
Just like the rest of the stuff in your
so I
backyard.
can scream, this is a mental illness.
I'm done fighting it.
And then I'm chopping it.
Do you see what I'm...
Yeah, we just encourage it
now,
right?
Do you see? I've changed. I'm done fighting it. I'm done even trying to blow holes in. I didn't even try to blow holes in the, well, why don't you just walk into your pool in the morning? That sounds pretty easy. And he's like, I can't do it. I'm a P word. He knows he's not a P word. He obviously just doesn't want to do it because it's not hard. Walk out, fall in.
Yeah.
Well, that's hard to push yourself to do that.
No. It's not.
You don't push, you jump.
It's easier to do that than it is to call a contractor and waste $17,000 on a sauna.
Very true.
This
is an illness.
That's easier for me.
Okay.
Like the getting it. Well, anyway,
because it's only the last 2 seconds, and you get right out. Then you're done. It's done for the day. Well, no, that's what I tell my daughter with anything she hates having to do. I'm like, it's going to last what, 5 seconds?
Yeah, but have you ever jumped in extreme cold water? Like
I've jumped into an ice cold freezing pool before. Yes, many times. It doesn't bother me. I haven't jumped into like igloo style.
I know. Yeah.
But that I think would be a different animal.
It's the sauna. Okay, it does the same thing.
See, don't
just
fight
the opposite.
Yeah, don't fight it. Just where? Okay, where
to
are we
me,
at with the sauna?
You get in with the heat, and it's easier.
But what if you say this is too hot? I can't get in.
No. But see, the heat, like extreme heat for whatever, is not as shocking to me as the cold.
Okay.
And
I'll take your word for it. So how do we get the sauna?
I don't know. I mean, Butler's got. I got a Butler on.
He's got a sauna on the line.
God.
You can get them online or whatever.
But they're all made by.
Build one.
They're made by Coleman, right?
She's a good woodworker now.
She's like a regular Nick Offerman. She's making a hand carved canoe.
No, she made a.
She's
box.
doing a speaking tour.
Oh, how dare you.
It's honestly, I mean, it's not. It's just a box with wires.
Where's your box?
I can make a box.
I
can make a box with wires.
You can make a better box than her box if we had a box off.
I mean, I did drill a couple screws in there because
well, then you can claim ownership.
I told her she was using the wrong screw size. But anyway,
you mansplain screw size.
Building a sauna. That's you're a teak. There's a whole.
Don't build a sauna.
No.
I'm just gonna buy one and
made by Coleman.
Now, there is
Walmart sauna.
Probably maybe over a 90% chance that this goes awry and I've wasted my money and life.
Okay.
And
what does it run off of, the sauna?
I think just electricity.
I thought it'd be gas powered. Everything at your house is powered by a ginormous 18 cubic ton propane tank. Everything in your house runs on propane. It's the only place I've ever seen where you flush the toilet. You have to light the pilot light before you flush the toilet. Meanwhile, you look around, it's nothing but pictures of their family naked.
Yeah. Shout out to Thompson Gas, one of our hookups, because they actually, the gas was expensive.
Yeah.
And
he's tied right into the ground. He's just taking it straight from the earth.
No, that's how much
gas he's burning.
No, but some people in neighborhoods are plumb for natural gas. I just have to have a giant propane tank, which eventually I want to bury it. That's the thing. So
do you have to coat it in a soft rubber material, like a Kong?
You build I say bury it, but you just dig a giant hole and then you line it.
So
and
you're just throwing trash on top of it.
You're just hiding it.
Okay,
you put a board over or something.
That'll look good.
Anyway,
that's your septic tank? No, man, that's my gas line. Get in the sauna. Beers are getting cold.
It would be hard to get the gas in because I have to dig through the concrete. Anyway, I might just do electric. Anyway,
why don't we start with fantasies? Why don't you start with comb my hair?
I don't want to.
And then work our way to sauna.
Don't fantasize about it. All that is.
That's a chore.
I'll tell you a bunch of other fantasies.
Do they get crazier than sauna?
Oh, that's a doable one. I have like 10 million.
So what's an undoable
that
one?
Is not doable.
So many. One day I was like, I'm going to walk to work every day.
No, you.
And then
you don't walk anywhere. You one wheel. We all know that.
No, I know, but
so you're going to walk 7 miles to work every day?
To walk there and back. I don't think it'd make me a better person.
But what time would you have to leave?
Early. Yeah, it would never work. They'd drop off the boys.
How long did you think about this? And did you get Butler on this as well?
No. This is a
how medicated
thought.
Were you?
How far do you have to get into the fantasy before you activate Butler? That's what I want to get to.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to hear about all my fantasy business ideas?
I am not mocking you.
Because I have so many.
I'm not at all mocking you. I like this kind of stuff. I'm done saying no to these. This is all great content.
Well, maybe the business ones we might want to listen to.
Well, the sauna is just... Look,
that's
guys,
a personal thing.
The sauna is also not going to happen. It's just never going to happen.
I'm trying to convince Paul Williams to...
Paul Williams from West End Trading Company and Celery City Craft.
You know that BDM who builds tiny houses?
Yeah.
Yes.
This fantasy is pretty recent. I was like, we're going to build a Tom and Dan tiny house, and then we're going to move it from place to place and Airbnb it, and we'll leave it in Sanford for a while.
I like this better than sauna. I do.
Well, sauna's a personal...
but it just the sauna seems so hard to do. It's never going to happen. Getting somebody to build us a trash shack on a trailer that we pull around.
That's possible.
This is way more cockamamie.
We get my mom's trailer. I put a refrigerator box on it. We get a trash shack.
So then you build the tiny house. It's themed Tom and Dan.
Yeah, it's got pictures.
We Airbnb.
By the way, when we say theme Tom and Dan, there's a mini fridge in there, and we put some free White Claw in it. That's what we mean.
How dare you?
By the way, pictures in there.
You think this is essing on my fantasies or my business ideas? Crystal really
no, I don't. See, you're wrong.
She stomps them dead before they even get out of the house.
They don't even get to committee.
They can't even float out of the chimney.
I like these.
She swats them dead.
I want Trash Shack. Okay, Trash Shack I vote yes on.
Yeah. I haven't even contacted the BDM. I kind of
So people will be living at Celery City Craft and living at West End Trading Company for one night?
No.
Is it like a drunk driving deterrent? Is it like you got so drunk, we bring the Airbnb to you?
No, it's just I was like, man, because when I went to Hollowbox, I said, this is the Key West of Central Florida. There's golf carts, there's every custom bar and brewery and stuff, and then and they have so many fests and parties and street parties. I'm like, this is set up.
It's optimum for it.
It's set up for you to go there and then spend a weekend just drinking and eating, right? And walking around. More than any other, I'd rather do that in Sanford than downtown Orlando.
Well, it's set up for it.
Maybe Mount Dora.
Mount Dora is pretty dope.
It's pretty dope, but it's more old people. Sanford sells a young.
If you want to get into a little bit, fun. Sanford is definitely more that vibe. Like, you and I did Mount Dora one time with the girls. Remember, we recorded. It was very boring, and then we ended up at like a Margaritaville themed bar, and it was not fun.
But it's cool.
I enjoyed my time in Mount Dora.
It was old people city.
But it's quaint, and it's more of like a family friendly.
It's like, oh, there's a bench with a bronze statue. Take a picture with it.
You know, you could bring your kids to Mount Dora, and no problem. But like Sanfording, it's like you want to go like party a little bit. You know, you just go Sanfording. Anyway, I was like, well, we should get a Tom and Dana Airbnb in Sanford, or like buy a house and just constantly Airbnb it or whatever. We can make deals with all the local, like all our sponsors and stuff. Like, hey, go to West End, go to Hollabaugh.
I like this idea.
Celery City, whatever. But here's the barrier to that idea. All the good property around there is all the cat's out of the bag. So everybody, you know, we have to get $500,000 to get a decent enough place and rehab and stuff. That's why I started going backwards to tiny house on a trailer.
Well, you got to sell your sauna to get the $500,000 to invest in the tiny house.
Yeah. Don't have that sort of equity.
I do like the tiny house idea though, because we could update it. We could take it different places.
Crystal was saying, like, you know,
don't let her stomp it flat. Let it get out of the chimney.
You need. Well, first she's like, who's going to empty the sewage and all that? Because you know that's all
valid questions. Valid questions.
And then
we got a guy.
No, it's a sewage guy now.
Butler goes
cups and sewage. That's
his locksmith truck with a big.
He shows up at like 9 a.m.
A big.
Wait, what time's dumping? Well, they check out time's 11. Dumping's at 1 p.m.
A big
hose,
brute plastic leaf barrel. You know, just sell it at Home Depot. Just empty the doo-doo into that.
Good morning, ma'am. Travis Butler here for the tiny house. I need to empty the gray water.
He's sloshing around in the back of a truck. I'm like, just pour it in Lake Monroe.
Oh my god.
Anyway, what he has to do is go to the studio first. I have to help him load the fish tank into his truck. The fish tank is what we hold all the sewage in, because we don't have a receptacle big enough to dump.
So there she was like saying that, and then she was like, how do you move it? That thing is a gigantic monstrosity. She's like, you need
I asked him how much it weighs. It weighs a lot.
And she's like, it's not an RV. It's made to be like put somewhere for a good amount of time.
We're going to need a bulldozer, and it's almost like it's like NASA. You know that big, what's the moving platform that they have for, like, SpaceX or whatever?
Well, it's on a trailer.
Yeah. No, but it takes, we need a bulldozer, and so it's going to take from Orlando to Sanford, it's going to take us a solid 4 hours of going 15 miles an hour to get there.
So I worked backwards from there, then I'm back to my Tom and Dan RV idea, and then I'm like, let's just get a drivable RV.
It sounds like you're bouncing in your own mind between bad ideas, and you're stuck in a loop.
Yeah, that's my entire life.
Okay.
My entire life is a bad idea loop that just keeps continuously going around and around and then every once in a while splinters off
into something good.
A good idea.
So are we buying an RV?
No, I'm telling you my fantasy. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Look, I'm on board.
I don't know. But then I already looked into it, and they're, you know, a decent
What about a trailer? Is there a trailer park in Sanford, in the Sanford area?
Well, it's too far for Sanford. You know, you want something right in the middle.
Well, why don't we include like an Uber pool?
I thought about this. Golf cart rental is included into the Airbnb.
Okay.
Because
I have a rickety golf cart.
Well,
pump up the tires. We're in business.
We need third parties so that when our listeners don't kill themselves DUI, that we are not sued.
They're rocketed out.
I've thought about this already. When Norm gets rocketed through the
and we're saying things like, "What are the odds that he was impaled by a vape pen?" You know, like it's like when you land. Anything becomes a strange and pointy projectile, you know?
There's lots of that. And then there's, like, permitting. That's why I tell Crystal, I was like, you
that's why we want it movable, though.
Yeah, so you could...
we can get the hell out of Dodge if the popo's on us. We hook it up! You know, we drive the hell out of there.
This is a Lady in the Dale scenario. Three-wheel car. You gotta watch that, by the way. Just put a wig on. Anyway, that's one of my fantasies.
Okay.
So how do you get to the sauna fantasy?
Well, that's just personal fantasies. There's lists of business fantasies, personal fantasies.
Does your wife have a personal fantasy?
Never asked her.
This is a problem.
Yeah, should we?
She has to listen to all your
What's
fantasies.
yours? Do you have a personal
fantasy?
It doesn't have to be like, I'm not talking sexy.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
you
like,
guys
what's
never dream about I constantly that we go through the fantasy of like we're gonna build a remember where my boat used to be, the pad the Jay and the real man laid next to my house, that big concrete
slab.
Yeah.
Anyway, Crystal, this is part of Crystal's fantasy too. But I know this is way cockamamie, and I'm like, no, wait,
boy.
this is
we're gonna beer. Oh, I know this.
She wants
one.
to build a mini gym in there, like take a shed. The people they take like sheds and then they put an AC in them and put drywall and they make it into like a little tiny house.
Yeah.
Like the skeleton's the shed and then you drywall, put flooring.
She wants to make like a world's gym, like a
Definitely got to get a permit for that.
like a fitness facility. Is that what you mean? Like
your neighbors not care? Or
like
a HOA? Or?
No HOA.
So to the side of your house, you're going to put a little shed with an AC and make it into like a mini CrossFit.
And then she's like, we could put I keep telling her you should get a Peloton, but she resists that idea for whatever reason.
Well, everybody likes to resist that idea.
And then she's like,
it's an easy thing to hate. I'll give you that.
She's like, I want the Peloton version of the row machine, the Hydro, and then I'll put the Hydro in there. Then I'll put a treadmill. She likes the Peloton treadmill for whatever reason.
The tread's cool.
And then
a lot of people don't like cycling. It's just not their thing.
And then you start doing the math, and you're like, you're talking about $20,000.
Well, the tread's like $6,000.
And you know how mad you're going to be after like that thing sits and dust inside, and no one uses it for months, and then
it would be more wise to get the row machine and just sit it in your living room and see if you use it, and then go to your shed.
It's like videotaping yourself burning $20,000 and having to watch it every day you go outside your house.
Don't say that.
But that's how it is. Yeah.
Or maybe we're being negative. Or maybe the shed with the Hydro inside of it would be the motivator needed, because of, you'd look at it and you'd be like, well, it's a $7,000 row machine with an $18,000 shed with drywall and air. I better use.
Oh my God! I thought you were going to throw up on the desk.
I was going to, but I pulled it back.
Oh my God!
I had to pull it back.
You old man talk burp.
You dad talk burps.
Yeah, I'm shocked because that was truly
that was natural.
It was truly surprising. It scared
the hell out of you. I saw it in your eyes.
Oh, I was terrified. I've never been. I thought the plane was going down. I'm not even on a plane.
Oh man!
Make that a category for the awards. The most old man thing.
No, I think I'm the clear winner.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure there's something.
My heart is racing right now. I was like, well, that's how he goes. He's just going to vomit and die. But yeah, I think it could be a motivator for her. So maybe you're looking at it the wrong way. Let's try to.
It won't be.
Let's try to.
You know what?
It is for me, because I don't like the price of my Peloton, and know I use it as a way. I look at it and I go, and I remember when I did the math on how many rides it would take me to pay it back. I mean, I'm just saying it works a little bit for me.
Everything works for someone, but not for everybody. And like I can literally, I mean, I wish I could bet on the outcome of this. Like I'd bet on like an insane amount of money, the best edge I've ever seen.
Yeah. You'd have to give a timestamp.
Is that the number one thing people build out that people go, oh no?
Oh, yeah,
Jim.
Oh, the treadmills in their houses and all that stuff.
Home gyms, man caves.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Backyard bar.
Biggest, tiki bar in the backyard.
Tiki.
Are you sitting there by yourself, Tony?
His bar looks great.
Hold on, you bring up a good topic.
Who's hanging out at the tiki bar?
Okay,
Tony?
yeah, let's talk about this, because he
wants to get into the waterfall lifestyle, but with tiki bar.
Our Tony, Tony Palmiotti. It seems like he wants a sprinkling of the waterfall lifestyle freedom.
Yes.
But you don't want to run the risk of, there's a virus out there.
Yeah.
Well,
he's waiting until everyone's vaccinated.
Yeah.
But he's building it out now.
Yeah.
I read something that
he'll only eat it if you're vaccinated.
At the end of the summer, he may run up his tiki bars to get that rolling. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler's here. And guess what, guys? the fish tank has been fixed.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Sean from Top Shelf Aquatics, who he is, Butler called him the Jamaican sensation.
Yes.
Horribly racist. And then I had to apologize for that. We tipped him out, but Sean did a great job, cleaned our tank. He's a modern day hero. The tank, I'm going to just switch to it real fast so you can see it. I'll go back to the tank. There's the tank. You can see it. Clear as day. Look how good it looks.
Yeah.
Oh.
All the fish survived.
Top Shelf Aquatics, thank you. But we do have guests on the line.
Yeah, we were, certain they were all going to die.
Well, the chat room was. They're very negative.
Yeah.
And the chat room was like, they're all dead, you guys. Yeah. And then I actually did have somebody, I was going to save this for the Friday Free Show. I had somebody from Twitch contact us about animal abuse.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
I did.
No.
I did.
Are you serious?
I am.
So what'd they say?
They said, is this animal abuse?
Next question.
And I said, no, it's fine. It's fine. They love it.
No,
that's what I said. It's fine. I said I said you don't understand fish. You're projecting how you feel onto the actual ocean creature. It's totally fine.
I did scream at Butler. I was like, "Quick, salt the toilet!" Because I thought we were
Salt the toilet.
Oh, by the way, somebody. Well, I'm not going to say that part. I'll save that one for Friday. But Sean may have left us a meatball in the toilet.
What would you say?
Are you sure that wasn't an urchin?
I didn't say which Sean.
So with us today to give us some positivity, I feel.
We definitely need some after the...
Also to give us the secret of how they look so young and beautiful.
They do look young and beautiful.
I think it must be happiness.
Well, I don't think they... that, and it doesn't appear that they have to drink themselves to close their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
Which we do.
No, but they party. I know them.
But not like we party. Their parties are fun.
Okay.
Adventurous. Our parties are sad, dark rooms with booze.
Because you could have 5 rum and cokes, but it depends on the setting.
If you have 5 rum and cokes with your beautiful wife and you're hang gliding through the Alps, that's terrific. But if you're sitting in an old podcast studio that smells like dead fish, drinking 5 rum and cokes.
By yourself in the dark.
With just you, Sean, and a meatball.
So with us today on Zoom, Jason and Jana Shelfer. How you guys doing?
Butchered their last name. I butchered their last name.
From the Jason and Jana show.
Jason and Jana Shelfer.
It's called Jana and Jason.
Hey guys, how y'all doing?
Good.
You know, we had a fish tank for the longest time, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. It was one of the most expensive pieces of real estate that we've had.
We had...
Jason sounds like Jimmy Johnson on the show.
Yeah. I think we said that before.
I love your voice, man. I just want to hug you and tell me about the Cowboys.
Is that Jana?
No,
I have to tell you guys, I am very, very nervous about having Jason do this interview with me because
with brain fog.
Yeah, not only does he have a little bit of brain fog yet because of his COVID that he had, but he just sometimes says things that are really absurd. So if he does that, I'm going to blame it on
this is the right show for him.
There's literally nothing you could say that's too absurd.
Yeah, that guy's a Tom and Dan guy.
Yeah.
That's what we do. In fact, we're the only show. This is a fun fact that I don't even know if you know, Jenna. We are the only show on Real Radio 104.1 that's bad. That's a fun fact. Nobody knows that.
Yeah. It's real bad.
Real bad. In fact, the original name of the show was Real Bad with Tom and Dan. But it was too close to Real Laughs.
Of your name and mix them up. That's what it spells. No,
we're so stupid. We thought that.
I'm kicking him under the table. I promise you.
There it is. I see what you're saying,
Jana.
Jana.
That's my code to tell him to shut up.
So, what are you guys getting into this week? What's the vibe?
Oh my gosh! Okay, so you gave us such a nice positivity, happy introduction, but I've been fired up and pissed off today.
Uh-oh.
Okay. About what?
Outrage. What's going on?
You going to storm the Capitol?
Is it Dr. Seuss? I made some memes about that one.
Yeah, I did too. What's next?
We got an insurance bill from the hospital.
Oh, yeah. I got one of those, too, for my husband.
Yeah. Who pays hospital bills?
Woo. Yeah. We've learned that.
It's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I cannot.
Don't bring it up.
I know I cannot be trusted. I am the bad one. There, I said it.
Also, and this is very white trash of me, but I was raised thinking that you don't have to pay those. And I would, in my younger years, I would just go to the hospital because I was told by friends and family that it's free.
And look at you now. You got a business. You got your own home. You're fine.
Just go to the emergency room. In fact, I was told...
Jason, he did that when he was an intern, and he had a pustule. What did you have? You had a goiter.
Oh, because I smoked after I got my wisdom teeth out and I got infected.
Man, that is...
That's the most redneck thing you can do. And he got a goiter. I forgot about your goiter.
Smoking goiter.
He got a big goiter zit on his... The thing was huge, right?
Yeah. Now, here's the problem, though.
God, I forgot about that.
It only works when you're super poor because you got nothing for anybody
Nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose.
The only thing they can take is your goiter.
Yeah, and there's nothing to gain from anybody going after you for the money.
True.
And they know it. They see it in your name.
They just give up,
Yeah. They just all they have to do is one quick search, and they see there's nothing.
They basically know they're not getting anything when you're at the emergency room, but you have to step outside to smoke. That's how they know.
With your goiter.
They're like, that guy's never going to pay.
Or when they have to tell you to step outside to smoke.
Right.
But I want to hear more about the goiter. Did it have like pus in it?
You don't even understand it.
It had to drain.
I went. First I went there.
I'm sorry, I brought this.
I was smoking all weekend during my camping trip, birthday weekend.
Yeah.
And then I remember I was getting fevers, and then I was like, I was trying to drink through it because all my friends were like, "Just drink, you baby. You drink the fever out of you."
Put some vodka on it. It's swish.
And then I'm like, I got my neck's all swollen, and then
and it kept getting bigger, right?
And so I tried to drink past it and smoke past it, but that didn't work. And then Crystal finally told me you have to go back to the dentist that did this. I went back to him.
This is where it gets a little.
And then he was like, "Oh my God!" He's like, "You have to go to the emergency room now." He's like,
"What have I done?"
He's like, "This thing could kill you. If it gets too swollen." He's like, "Swelling around your neck is dangerous."
Who knew that?
So I go to
snakes have been doing that for years.
I go to the emergency room. They have to do surgery on my neck and drain. Then they put a tube in there and a Band-Aid to hide the tube.
Beer in it.
Show him your zit. Where's your zit? Jason's got some real doozies going on.
Oh no.
And because he's been on this steroid, his chest looks like he's got chicken pox. Like he's got.
Oh my God, he's got chicken pox.
Oh, he's got bro pimples. Like he got back knee.
Yeah,
It's so fun.
That's because you're making gains, bro. Get used to it. Hey, I get zits on my back all the time, but guess what? Guess who's dropping the biggest loads? This guy. This guy.
So I always wonder.
Don't you guys question? Don't you guys kind of get a little bit of pleasure out of squeezing your zits?
My wife does. I do not.
Yeah.
I married a good one.
I feel like that's a woman thing more than a man thing, right?
Yeah.
Or
I only squeeze one thing to get stuff out of it, and that's Tom for checks.
But seriously, if we were, because there's tons of YouTube videos that are just dedicated to that, right? Like squeezing pimples. Seriously,
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Yeah, there's social media accounts and stuff. I wonder if more female people, like females, follow those accounts than males, right?
Definitely.
Why is that?
We have a tendency to be babies when it comes to medical stuff. I think the stereotype would be that guys are not as.
I don't know. First of all, it makes me feel young. It makes me feel young when I get like a really big zit on my chin. And then when I get up close to the mirror and if I can squeeze it and something pops out, there's a sound involved and there's a sensory. And then if it splatters a little bit on the mirror, there's something very satisfying about it.
You guys came to the right show. We are definitely the splatter show.
I don't know what that is, but
my wife likes that.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that are into that and are fascinated by that.
Are you a picker?
No.
I'm not a squeezer. Yeah, I'm a picker. I'm not a squeezer. My wife is a squeezer, so she likes the pimples. But unfortunately, if I get a scab, I have to actively tell myself to leave it alone. I have to tell myself
it has to go away, because if you take that one off, the new one's smaller
and smoother. It's the roughness to me. I figured it out. It took me 40.
If you start it, God forbid, because it's got to go.
Oh yeah. If it's there and it's kind of, sorry if you're eating, everyone.
Mm-hmm. So Jason, how much?
Then Daniel, what do you do with your scabs?
You throw them on the floor.
I find
well, he's right.
Scabs, do you?
Yeah, you throw them on the floor, but
there's disgusting.
But they're I guess you're supposed to get up and go put it in the toilet or
the toilet.
Well, what are you going to put it in the tiny trash can? I can't put it in the bathroom trash can. It's already got my wife's pubes all in it.
Well, that's just for the real big, disgusting scabs.
Like the larger, hospital issue style. Home style is what they got.
So were they raking you over the coals with the old hospital bill over there?
Yes.
Well, the insurance company denied it, so it's like $27,000.
Oh, how'd they deny it? What do we even have insurance for?
Honestly,
you know what? I'm so mad.
Scam, I told you.
I'm so mad at insurance companies.
Anna's gonna have to sell her wheelchair.
And this is the same insurance company that it's been 3 years ago now. I needed a new wheelchair, and they came back and said, no,
that's terrible.
You're not paralyzed. You don't really need a chair.
Oh, I thought you were really joking.
Me too.
I'm sorry.
They really did. And I spent an enormous amount of money trying to prove that I was paralyzed, and they just kept denying me.
That is cool.
I thought you were joking, Jason. Jason goes, approve it. I thought he was just doing a wacky one-liner. No, he was just saying what the company said, what the insurance company said.
How do you prove that?
They still denied it.
And they still denied it, to the point where I said, you know what, my time, I can't be spending all of my days and my frustration on the phone trying to prove to you that I can't walk and that I need this. I've got better things to do with my life. And so I ended up just buying it out of pocket. And so now when we get this bill...
So now we just get frustrated with insurance companies. But we do find gratitude in things. It just sometimes takes us a little longer.
Listen, there's no gratitude.
You're such a sweet person.
Hold on.
End it like that. I would never end it. I'd scream.
What? How can insurance companies... how is this a business where you could... It's like me telling my clients, they're like, hey, are you going to run those commercials? And be like, those commercials are denied. I got paid for them.
Like, maybe we should... If we tried this, I'd be able to buy Jana a wheelchair. I'd have a lot of money. I'd have tons of money. I'd buy you whatever you want.
But I pay for this service, and now I need it, and denied.
Damn.
How's this happening?
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Couldn't they just look through their records and see that you bought other wheelchairs? You're not just a collector.
That's what
they have to go back like 5 or 6 years or 7 years to see that. So that's a lot of records.
That's a lot of work. You're right.
You gotta send them a video of you holding a lighter to your toes. It's the only way to prove it.
And who's gonna do that? You know what? And you're a professional woman, and you're not gonna do that. No woman should have to do that to get a damn wheelchair.
So we've been dealing with that this morning. However, there may be hope. There may be hope.
All
because about an hour ago...
I fired off a Twitter.
Whoa! That's how you get things done.
Oh, yeah.
An
Twitter war.
An angry tweet.
The general doesn't like that. He gets mad if you start adding him in a tweet.
Yeah, they don't like it when you tweet to them and then you use Did you hashtag them?
No. It doesn't work unless you hashtag it.
Oh, yeah.
And take the high road.
Hashtag it, add it.
Take the high road,
That's an @ sign with their name, everything on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the way I do it. I burn it all down.
Do you guys have...
And then you got to put Oprah in there, too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just so the audience expands.
And the funny thing is that Tom and I were worried about how dark your wheelchair would be. We were discussing that.
The royal family.
Sorry.
There's email.
I'm a stupid person.
Okay, let's talk about this.
Gunmetal? That's a little darker than standard steel.
So, Jana and Jason, you guys are positive people, and you guys live your life with a certain vigor
and they look
positivity,
like they enjoy it,
and enjoyment, and that's kind of what your whole brand is about. And
it is.
So, but with that though, there are probably some downfalls with living a positive, truthful existence, because I bet you guys don't have the ability to just ignore that $27,000 bill every time it comes in the mail.
You mean the good people clause?
Yes.
Yes. Because, dude, the good people clause sucks because it ruins your life.
Here's the way I'm looking at it. I'm realizing how important it is to have good insurance. So that's something we've been looking to transition. Maybe
get good insurance.
Does that even exist?
It all sucks and it's all expensive. Yeah. So good luck.
There you go. So that's one thing.
Sorry,
and
we're negative over here.
Power of negativity.
Yeah, you gotta understand the room, Jenna.
And also, I sometimes feel that maybe for me, one of my big... I think sometimes we all have a vice in our life. Like we all have that one obstacle where we have a hard time overcoming it. And for me, it's been value. Sometimes I don't realize my value that I can bring. And so this kind of lights a fire under my butt, you know, and it says, hey, Jana, it's time to start getting the abundance flowing in your life, because it kind of brings out this. I have to set my boundaries. This isn't going to stand, and it kind of brings out a fight. So sometimes when these things happen, you just got to find the lesson.
Yeah, and the boundaries thing is something we've been working on, or namely me and Sam have been working on with Tom.
Oh, yeah.
For a while now.
I hate boundaries.
It's really hard.
Also, what if you have too many vices? Like, you're literally Miami Vice.
Oh, my God, that's you. That's you.
Then there's just so many, they're crushing you with the way
prefer to call you Vanilla Vice.
Too many vices, well, maybe then that's your lesson to focus. Maybe you're all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
That's where you just need to stop, be still.
And we have him on focusing medicine, Jana. But like it seems like
but that's become
take
another
more
vice.
Ritalin. Take more.
I'm taking.
Yeah.
I mean, we are.
That just added to the vices crushing me.
Yeah, that's his number one vice.
Stop crushing it and just take it orally.
He butt chugs it.
See?
Where do you guys stand on butt chugging? Because I want to do that, but Tom's trying to talk me out of it. And I want to do it tomorrow on the Friday pre-show.
Honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you're going to do it, it needs to be on the show.
Our foreign exchange student was telling me about this. We had a foreign exchange student from Germany, and she was she tried all sorts of stuff. And she was telling me that you need to
butt chug.
You must use vodka tablet.
The Germans.
There's nothing like a good bong hit through the butt.
Yeah, freaky. Okay, so Jana, Jason.
She was a weirdo.
That's not positive. That's not positive, Jana. Look, we got her. We turned her. And the worst thing she could say was actually not that bad. She said she was a little weird. You're so sweet.
But it'll get worse.
Look up weird in the dictionary, because that's actually a compliment.
It is. Yeah. It means you're unique. You know, like the road less traveled, so to speak.
I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but usually German foreign exchange students that are willing to live in strangers' houses are probably weird. like maybe 90% of them are weird. You got a 10% chance they're not weird. Anyway, so guys, how do you? Okay, seriously, because I feel like this could help a lot of people, because obviously Jason got COVID, had to go to the hospital, which is horrible. Then you get this huge hospital bill. And now, obviously, Jason, you're feeling better, right? Are you still dealing with any lingering effects?
Oh, yeah. So apparently I'm a long hauler. And so with the brain fog, the air getting to my lungs, so I take an inhaler a couple times a day, and I do it before I do anything like this, because I need to make sure I maintain the oxygen getting into my lungs, because that affects apparently everything you do, and you end up with exhaustion. And that's apparently going to be with me for about 3 months, maybe 4 months, but it's yet to be seen. They don't know everything about this, but it's a weird sickness.
So
Samantha's husband's going through it too.
Yeah.
And so now, how do you look at the positive side of all this, or how do you, I guess,
it's been the best thing that's happened to us, and I'll tell you why.
Okay. All right.
It allowed us to slow down. For the last year, we've been going a million miles a minute. We've been trying to start our business, and we've been throwing a bunch of stuff out to see what sticks to the wall. These last 4 weeks, we've been able to really get still and hone in on our message, where we're going, which direction we want to go. So that's number one. Number two, what's number two?
Well,
oh my God.
But this is a hard one.
Is that while he was in the hospital, I started exploring this app, which I told you guys about last time, Clubhouse.
Yes.
And on there, I've started speaking daily, which has allowed me to build a following. And it's been a really, really great place for me to meet people.
Nice.
This past week, this woman reached out to me named Vera Wang, and she asked me to moderate a room with her. And I was like,
don't know if you've heard of Vera Wang.
Yeah, I know Vera Wang, the designer.
I was like, I'll moderate a room with you, Vera Wang. Now, I thought she was the famous Vera Wang that makes wedding dresses for the rest of the world. So I showed up not knowing who the heck I was even moderating with. But it turned out that she's a businesswoman, and she has like this fashion industry, but it's not the Vera Wang. It's just
a Vera Wang.
Wang.
That's crazy. Tom and I started. We just started advertising that hamburger joint, Jeffrey Epstein's Hamburgers. It's not the one, though. It's a different. But these burgers are juicy and loaded with cheese. Oh man, they're good.
There you go.
Loaded with cheese, much older meat.
Yeah, it's a totally different person.
But from that, I moderated this 9-hour room where women from all over the world were coming in there for International Women's Day, and I was making so many contacts. Like, I feel like it's because he had COVID that we've been exploring other options. Just this morning, we got a phone call from a producer that actually has been seeing some of our content over on Clubhouse, which I wouldn't have explored if he didn't have COVID. And he is doing what is he doing? Some sort of pilot.
And he wants to focus on people that have built a business kind of over COVID.
Sure.
And
so
there's to feature us.
There's a synchronicity of things that have been happening, and I really feel that it all stems from Jason getting sick.
Wow. Now, how popular could we make you if we sacrifice more of Jason?
Yeah,
because maybe it's all about pushing him to the brink of death, like a Game of Thrones, almost like a the Red Woman scenario. If we can push him almost to death, then you will be the king of the world.
So what I've heard, when Jason
Queen of the world.
When Jason was out of the picture, you were able to get a lot more done.
I
holding you back.
I'm like stained panties on a date.
Oh, wait a minute! That just lets me know you're working in the fields. You know, like to me, it lets me know that you're active. You know, I'm like, all right,
that's the COVID talking.
Yeah,
that's that fog brain.
I think stained panties.
Never trust a skinny cook, Jason.
Oh gosh, no! I just really feel like I'm living lucky right now. I feel like all the right people are coming into my path at the right time. I feel like I'm showing up for myself, and I feel like things are happening. I feel like the universe, and I don't want to get too deep, but I do feel like the universe is conspiring for me and through me. So it's a good place to be.
And regardless, the thing that I learn here is that, like, no matter what, I mean, let's say you're a hey, these are my cards, and there's no way to change fate sort of a guy. Let's say you're that person. I mean, there is some sort of, to me, a calmness of kind of what you're saying, even if you're just kind of relaxing and taking it day by day and in a weird way kind of enjoying the uncomfortability, then there's growth there in a weird way.
So, Jana, but how do you change the perspective? Because I'm hearing from you, it's like, all right, you're looking at it a different way, and that's all it is. Like, you're taking a situation, you're looking at the good, you're changing your perspective of it.
No, it goes even beyond that, though, because to her it may be an asset. They were spending more time together, so the pipeline of focusing their main idea into this, let's say, clubhouse, I would say they wouldn't have had that had he not gotten sick. Is that what you're saying?
But that's all perspective.
In my life, the worst things that have ever happened to me, I'm realizing have actually been the best.
Yeah.
So becoming paralyzed, at the time I thought that was the worst thing that ever happened to me. 30 years later, I'm realizing, you know what? That's actually been one of the best parts of being me. Leaving Clear Channel and leaving my job at the time, I mean, I went through a really dark time.
Sure.
I thought that was the worst thing that happened to me at that time. I'm realizing it's actually one of the best because now I'm building my own brand and I'm becoming my own boss.
Tom tells me that every day, and I look at him, I go, I just still be getting that sweet radio money.
Leaving Clear Channel, I can get behind, but the paralyzed thing, it's a hard pill for me to swallow. Like, that's a hard one to look. But it shows you that the power of your perspective to look at it like that is a positive and
It makes me feel like you're completely in control.
Yeah,
It's empowering.
Of course.
I'm making the decision, like I'm changing the direction of my own thoughts. Nothing is a negative to me because I'm in charge.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler is here. The fish look. Oh, man.
Oh, we're getting
Chef's
new fish.
Kiss.
Getting new ones.
Yeah.
You said fish when I was saying kiss, so I said chef's kiss.
Yeah.
That's fine.
We're getting some new algae eaters.
All right. We got a lot of algae.
We do.
We got some new crabs.
Hold on.
No more crabs.
We have no business having a fish tank.
What do you mean?
So we have no business with that.
Oh, it's fine.
I've told you guys this from the beginning.
We are. I don't know what we're doing in there, but it ain't fish tanking.
We got the water. Butler had the water schedule. We got that. They didn't die
Water
over
schedule.
That's the first I've heard of the water schedule.
Well, remember someone had to fill the reservoir, so Butler had to drive.
Never talk about the reservoir. We had to drive 31 miles
from Lake Mary.
3 times.
Yeah. I appreciate him doing that.
Just to put some water.
Today, you got in front of a bullet. Butler's killing it today, man.
Can we get
really doing a nice job?
An autofill, like another reservoir?
We do have an autofill. It's called Butler. 31 miles. Yeah, there's your autofill.
Let's do some weird job.
All right, let's weird job it up. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dad really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. We're not bringing back Bird Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Streamline Mortgage Solutions. Brian Zymel sent me an email, an email the other day.
This guy's killing it.
That this is from a BDM's dad. It says, Brian, I must say you have the most kindest staff I have ever known.
No, normally when the parents contact us, it's to cancel the BDM membership. I'm sorry.
I've been in business for over 30 years, and Donna Marie, as well as the other staff, is the number one staff anyone could have.
Donnie and Marie Osmond work there?
Yeah, they
Donna
do.
Marie. And it says, kudos to you for picking and keeping the group of hardworking and seemingly loving their jobs people. and that's from BDM's dad.
Yeah,
that
super
use
happy.
Streamline. So it's Streamline Mortgage Solutions, StreamlineFlorida.com. If you need a refi, do it now.
And do what this BDM did. Talk to your parents for once.
Yeah,
Call
Honestly.
them. Call them and tell them you love them and just go, I love you so much, call Streamline.
Go on the BDM page and just ask who's used Streamline and how was their experience. I'm telling you, it'll literally be dozens of BDMs telling you how good they are. And that's what's great about working with Streamline is they're such a good company that we barely have to do any work because everybody uses them.
Easiest thing to talk about.
Refers them to other BDMs, and it's like we have to do very little work.
I'm going to use them again, hopefully.
Streamline.
Yeah. So, just give them a call because even if it's not right for you, they will make it right for you like they did for me. Brian called me, but this is before he was even a true solidified client. He called me like a year later when it wasn't like a good time for me to refinance. He's like, now it's time. I was like, how did you know? He's like, I had you marked in my calendar to call you when it was. Yeah, I do things the way I'm supposed to.
Listen, Brian does not mess around. Him and his team are really, really good. Anyway, so on the line with us for Weird Job Wednesday, Scott, how you doing?
Good. How y'all?
Good.
Scott, thanks for the time, man. Welcome to Weird Job Wednesday. You are our contestant and winner.
So, what's your job, Scott?
So I essentially import rare house plants from Indonesia and Thailand, and then I sell them to rare plant collectors in the USA.
Pot dealer. He's a pot dealer, right?
I know. Yeah. You're in the import-export rare plant business.
It's rare house plants.
Rare house plants that only collectors collect. Yeah, I might be a collector. Might have been on a website collecting 5 minutes ago.
So, Scott, first off, why Indonesia? Why not everywhere around the world? And like explain how you got into this business.
Yeah, man. So Indonesia, just because it's cheap there, and Thailand, it's cheap there.
Sure.
There's actually a really big collector market over there, and just due to the economy over there, everything's much cheaper. And even after I import it and put on all the taxes and everything that it costs to get it here, the markets are still absolutely fantastic.
So, are you dealing in bundles of plants?
I love that buzzword, bundles.
Don't bundle.
Get the bundle. You put your cable and your house plants together.
Are you bringing over a large quantity of one particular plant and then distributing them to a bunch of different customers, or is it literally one super rare plant at a time?
So we typically specialize in Monstera, Philodendron, some Syngoniums, and other popular house plants. I mean, I've heard that Tom, you're into Monstera, aren't you?
Yeah. I got a Monstera at home.
You should have seen his eyes light up when you started winging the terms around. This guy, he was like, "All right, we got a cowboy here."
Scott, can you just agree with me that succulents are BS and that they're garbage plants?
Why are you coming for the succulents, bro?
Man, maybe I just got into succulents.
If you want to be a real plantman, you got to get a Monstera or something that is hard to take care of, not just stinky old tiny cactus.
The succulents are for beginners, and we don't.
Wait a minute. Stinky Old Tiny Cactus was the name you tried to get me to change to when we started this goddamn show. He wanted me to be Stinky Tiny Cactus.
So, you can buy a Monstera and all the same plants you said around town.
Monstera? I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
Monstera's in the morning.
Is
that what you're talking about?
Wait
what are you doing?
You ever seen a house plant that has a big leaf with splits in it?
Yeah, I have seen splits in the leaves.
Yeah. It
looks like it's sick or something.
It's like a big green broad leaf with splits in it, and it kind of grows like a vine, but you've seen them in they're for fancier houses.
Wait,
expensive.
weren't there some in the? Okay, remember when we went to Mexico?
They're not some stinky cactus.
Remember when we went to Mexico, for Tiffany's? Well, we said it was for Tiffany's wedding, but it was really just to see Tiffany in a bikini her whole wedding weekend.
Yeah.
There were some in that atrium.
Yeah,
those were those exotic, crazy plants, right?
There's a bunch of different families of that kind of vine and broadleaf.
So what kind of money is in, how much does one of these cost? If I want to get a Monstera.
Well, yeah, back to my original question. You could buy these in the United States. I mean, they just had a plant show over at Lou Gardens that I missed. I was mad about because it was right.
No, I drove by it. No, I drove by it. It was all gay bodybuilders with no mask on, hugging each other, waiting in line for plants.
That's what I want.
I drove by it, and it was Super Spreader 2021.
No. Everybody at that place, they don't got.
They don't. Well, everybody was old, which was weird. They're all old, no mask, standing in line for some dumb.
They already got the vaccine. They're fine.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But anyway, so my point is, you could buy these things basically at any nursery or wherever that sells plants for the most part. I mean, sometimes they'll have them at like Home Depot and Lowe's, but that's kind of rare. So why go through you?
Good question, man. So the Monstera that you guys are familiar with is called Monstera deliciosa.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
By no means.
That's what I like. That's what I like.
By no means
fake.
whatsoever. Oh, it's real, I promise.
Delicious Monster. It's called Delicious Monster.
Monstera delicioso. Don't get it confused with Monstera suspiciosa. Which is my nanny saw.
Coming for your children.
Yeah. I'm standing by the corner. Anyway, so are you talking? So you get a different variety of Monstera.
You got it, man. So what we import is called Monstera albo-borsigiana. It's a variegated Monstera.
A variegated Monstera? So this is say it one more time. A Monstera
albo-borsigiana.
Aldo Borgiano. I'm going to make you an offer.
You never refuse.
So, yeah, a lot of plant, like I'm in a bunch of plant groups that are just like, I'm high and I love plants.
Yeah, only one update a day.
Yeah. That's what I realized when I got into plants, because it's super stoner thing to get into. They sit there and you repot plants.
You know what's also a stoner thing to get into? Video games.
ACT.
Sorry. Sorry. I told you I'd forgot.
So, what are we talking? I'm not familiar with the cost difference between the different Monsteras. So, if I want your type of Monstera, like, for instance, I do want to buy one from you, and by that, I mean I want you to give it to me for some sort of... and I'll plug.
Is that a...
Give me the old Monstera.
Okay. And then I'll plug your business or whatever.
Delicious Monster, yeah.
But what are one of those things will run me?
At the most bottom line cost, just to get a cutting of a Monstera albo-borsigiana, you're about $300 plus shipping. That's my cost. It's standard cost across the USA right now.
What?
There's types of Monstera that sell for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. So it's from $300 to $13,000 is the range.
Okay, so tell me, if you send me, let's say I give you the $300 and you send me the cutting. How difficult would it be for someone like me with zero, like really experience with that? Could you just give me a couple sheets of paper telling me what to do, and if I were mindful of it, would it live?
You put it in a White Claw cup with water, and it'll grow some roots, then you throw it in a pot.
Okay.
I
can do that.
They like a drier soil, so, you're going to have to... maybe mix your soil. They're a little more temperamental than a regular houseplant.
Is that right?
In an effort to make a sale, I'll say, yeah, that's right.
Oh, so it's more difficult than that. What do I got to be moving it in and out? In the sun, out the sun, in the sun, out the sun.
No,
Two drips of this vitamin, one drip of this vitamin. Ooh, mix the dirt. Play the classical music for it.
They don't like full sun, so you can put them in your, atrium area.
My point is that why is this so hard? If all I got to do is write down what I got to do to it.
Yeah.
If you're just like, if you set a timer, like, hey, check your plant.
Yeah, as long as you water it and feed it, and you have the right. I mean, usually with them, do you have to mess with the pH of the soil and all that? That's where it becomes hard.
So Monstera albo are a little forgiving in that respect. No, you don't got to mess with the pH too much, but you do need to be mindful of it. So it's definitely not a beginner plant. I wouldn't recommend it for someone who has no experience. Start off with the deliciosa, which is the normal form that you're used to, Tom, and then you can work up to a variegated one. They're a bit more temperamental.
I could do it right now. Why are you trying me, Scott?
If I bought you
I'm an idiot.
If I bought you one, you'll keep it living?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I know what I'm doing.
Plant challenge.
So,
might be the most exciting thing we've ever done.
Scott, I follow a lot of Instagram plant pages.
He also follows a lot of Instagram fitness models.
It's all fitness models and plants.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed that like some of these people will show off their monsteras and like stuff like that. And
show me your monsters.
And some people have gigantic ones growing in their house. By the way, they're all rich people. By the way, there's not one poor people on this page.
And they're not doing it right. Don't they have a plant man?
They may have someone that does it, but these things are like
I'm a plant man, monster.
I'm not joking. They're they're climbing up the side of their 2-story foyer or whatever with like windows and stuff. And this thing is probably 13 foot tall. Like the leaves.
What's that cost?
Well, I was going to ask you. Like, so those gigantic big boys. First, how long do they take to grow? Like, how much time in?
Great question.
And how much? Like you mentioned, like $15,000, but is that what we're talking? Like 13 foot?
So as long as you're talking about the variegated Monstera, you're going to get reliably $300 per leaf. I'd say in a growing season, you'll get 3 to 4 leaves out of your Monstera. So I mean, you can do the math if you want, 12 leaves tall. Probably going to take you 3 growing seasons, maybe 4 to get there at a rate of $300 per leaf. And as the plant gets bigger, the price exponentially goes up due to the rarity of the size and how hard it is to get it to that plant. So a variegated Monstera that's 13 feet, it's one of those things where you set the price, and whoever's willing to pay it is what it's going to go for.
It almost becomes like art at that point, right?
Yes, there are people who are hardcore into this, and they will sell off their house to get these plants. Yeah. It is nuts.
Yeah. People fall in love with you get into the plant people world. These people get addicted to plants.
I kind of like it. I mean, there's a lot of really bad stuff to get addicted to. Plants is okay, I guess. Yeah,
well, if you're spending all your money, well, it's your hobby. Better
than fentanyl, just on the surface.
Is that the most sought-after plant, or can we get more rare? Ooh. Like, what can you get me if I have an unlimited budget and I want some badass plants in my mansion?
Right now, the top of the top is considered to be the Philodendron Spiritus Sancti. Very, very, very hard to come by. Bottom line, just to even get a plant, you're looking at $13,000 just to start. It only goes up from there. Very difficult plant to get, not an easy beginner grow, and in order to get it, you're probably going to have to import it from Thailand or someplace overseas, which, takes a lot of liability into account of bringing that in, because a lot of stuff dies on these imports whenever you bring them in. I mean, you're putting them into a box for 5 or 6 days, and plants need light and water, so there's a lot of liability and risk that comes along with this, which is why you said it's really only rich people that are into this stuff. Don't get me wrong, people with lower income.
No, you can say it. Scott, we're open here.
Yeah, we're open here.
We're not hurting any feelings.
Sugar-coated. We shoot from the hip. Yeah. Poor people are gross.
Yeah. And listen, you know if you're rich or poor, right?
You do.
It's not like you're hiding it. I know.
There's a test. Look at yourself right now. If you're gross, you're poor.
I'm getting the succulents.
It's easy.
We understand.
Yeah. Like, why are we so? Don't call them poor.
Yeah, don't call them that.
Facts are facts.
God forbid. Oh, if you see a person, if you see a person walking with a tiny cactus, they're poor. It's just science, folks.
So now, when you buy something like, say, Scott, I go to you.
That's $13,000. How big is that, by the way, just for the audience?
Yeah.
When you say $13,000 for this philodendron that's super rare, how large is this plant that you're shipping?
1.5 to 2 foot tall, 3 leaves.
God. Holy crap.
So when you get
this is one of the best weird jobs we've had, man.
When you get a $13,000 plant, do you hire, because we have Top Shelf Aquatics come here weekly.
They are amazing.
To help keep our saltwater tank alive, obviously, because it's complicated. Just like all these things we talk about, like plants, and like you get to
it's
the saltwater.
It's really no different. It's a living thing.
And so they have to do a lot of maintenance. Do you have to hire a plant technician or a caretaker to come by and make sure that, because at
graveskeeper.
Well, think about it, $13,000 investment, and you kill it. That's even if you're rich, that's hard to swallow.
I think I would be more worried about getting it back to life, getting it out of the box.
So, is there a service like that, or these people are so into it that they do that?
Just recently, down in places like West Palm Beach, I have seen that type of service become available in select demographics. They'll have a caretaker come in who really, really knows what they're doing and will take care of these plants. But a bulk majority, I'd say 95% of the people in this community are hardcore plant people, and they really pride themselves on taking care of these plants themselves, knowing the minute details of how to care for these things. But there is a niche where that type of job, where you can be a plant caretaker, is available, and I have actually seen it become quite lucrative in the last year.
So dude, that's your. You and I have been obsessed with like our Twilight jobs.
Yeah,
and I always give you mine are always lame. Caretaker. Well, mine's always like homeless, living under a bridge or something. But I think for you, plant caretaker, you're driving around in like an electric van with maybe your boys, one of them at least, and you're going around and taking care of rich people's plants, and you're rich yourself. I think you could do that.
The problem is, first, in that equation, I am not rich because I wouldn't do that job. Because. I just want to sit and be high, and secondly, the rich owner would be like, "Hey, that guy is high. He's been walking, pacing back and forth, losing his shears." You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna be a horrible plant caretaker because I am doing what the rich people do, which is get high and then
just walk around them.
Look at your plant, mix around the soil, look up the pH. Just mess with your plants.
Yeah, watch the wind blow its leaves.
So, Scott, how'd you get into this job? How, did you even take the steps to start import, export, or I guess just import rare plants?
So I've owned a landscaping company for going on 6 years, and landscaping money is decent, but it's not great. So I was looking for another type of company to start, and I love plants. I really do. Truthfully, one night I had a handful of beers, and I went online and started looking at plants, and I found one that I really liked, and I wanted to buy it. But the catch is they had to ship it from Indonesia. Got a couple of drinks in my system, bought it. Probably wouldn't have bought it if I wasn't a little tipsy. Plant showed up. Over the next couple months, as I took care of it and I put it up on my Instagram, I started getting people messaging me to buy it at 4, 5, 6 times the cost of what I paid for it.
Interesting.
And it just kind of clicked.
This is an amazing weird job to me, because this is all born out of him saying, I can make a little more money out of my lawn business. Let me diversify my company.
Yeah.
And you just used your passion to find something you're into. And so these people are hitting up your instant messages on Instagram saying, hey, that's a nice looking whatever the hell. I'd like to
Monstera,
buy it for double, three times the cost.
That's about right, man. Yeah, we've also got an Etsy shop, but between those two and Facebook, we do a lot of sales on Facebook. I love plants, and between those 3 routes and my passion for plants and just a lucky night where I ordered in a plant and found myself in a position where I can make money, it's grown bigger than I could ever imagine, to be honest with you.
This guy just got drunk and bought a plant, and now he has his
own
business.
That's business.
Importing rare
but are there
plants.
rules about you? Okay, let's say you're importing certain plants or getting them for, I guess, people that want to buy them from you. Are there rules about what you can import, what's invasive, are there those type of things that you have to deal with as far as getting these plants into the country?
Yeah, man, and that's the not-so-fun part of all of this. There's permits that are required by USDA, depending on what port the plants are coming into. They can either be real strict or they can be real lax, but there are some plants that USA just does not allow into here, and, you got to work around that and stay up with the trends on Facebook and Instagram and what people are wanting, because these trends change monthly. The it plant last month is not the it plant this month, and you got to be 4 months ahead of that, reading the trends and getting those plants in, because it takes time to acclimate in the greenhouses and, get to a sellable state.
What's the it plant for April?
Oh, man. The it plant for April.
It's my birthday month. And
he's not going to give away his honey hole information.
Well, what's the it plant right now? Is it the Monstera?
Right now, the Philodendron El Chaco Red is pretty hot. A lot of people want that. It's a form of varicosum. That's selling anywhere from $300 to $600, depending on the size of the plant.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha's here. Butler's here. You're going to look in your left-hand corner if you're watching on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, or possibly on YouTube, and you're going to see somebody, and we will announce that person soon.
So, we got Tuttle on the line.
Okay, there it is.
How you doing, Tuttle?
Hi. Hey, Tom, Dan. How are you?
Good. I see that that's a quality stag you got right behind you.
I think. I told you, come get one of these pups, buddy.
Whoa, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does come get one of these pups mean? Is the baby of a staghorn a stag pup?
Yes, it is.
Is it really?
And it's not really its baby. It's more of a piece of its.
It's like they cut off a limb.
Yeah.
It's mutilation.
Is it basically a limb?
I honestly have no idea because I think staghorns are trash trees or trash plants, and anything that you have to chain to a tree should be killed, right? Right?
Yes.
I mean, that sounds like stand-up, but I'm serious. I just wrote that.
It's the plant equivalent to a pit bull in Florida.
It is, yeah. I mean, the only thing it's missing is a sprinkling of gunpowder in its nostrils to make it crazy.
It's all on how you raise your staghorn.
You've been feeding that some bananas there? Yeah, that's
Here, I'll show you.
That's the most you've ever sounded like Norm Macdonald.
I put a banana in there yesterday.
We're feeding that some bananas there, right?
It's kind of shakier. God damn it.
No, okay, I gotta ask something. Okay, staghorns, is there a way to affix them to the tree without having to buy a pit bull chain? Because that's the trashy part that I've been railing about for years. And I say the staghorns are stupid, but the plant's okay.
It's
only the chain. Why?
It could only be a chain.
Why?
Because
that doesn't make sense to me.
If you use anything weaker than a chain,
well, what is their natural environment? Chain. Where do you find a natural, healthy staghorn in the state of Florida?
No, there's no wild staghorns anymore. It's only white trash owned now. It's like tigers.
The chain is now part of the evolution of the staghorn.
Staghorns are like tigers in Florida. Only white trash people own them. That's it.
I just don't. I don't understand. I understand it's for weight. I'm not dumb. I'm just saying, could we find something a bit more organic to
My dad has.
No.
My dad has this one on a stand. You know, we were iron workers here. He put his on a stand. It is not actually hanging on a chain.
Oh, so he made a. Okay, now that I approve. If it's free, but I just think the chain is trashy. It's just trash. I don't care what you say. I've seen some of the nicest houses. You look up and you see a piece of chain from Ace Hardware and a tree hanging from it. It's like, that's weird.
I'll funnel 2 sponsors over to the Tuttle Daily podcast for that staghorn.
Whoa, you're dealing in sponsors now? Yeah. Do we have that many? They're not dollar bills. What is happening?
Yeah,
I mean, who are you giving me? Like,
we're gonna give you big head hats and vapor shades.
I'll have to look and see.
There's so many, forgets them all.
Well, I got what about Thompson Gas? They're good
quality.
Propane. You got propane. You need propane.
Trailer living propane.
Yeah, I knew it.
Trailer living propane. Give it.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
I'll give you. Now, I'm not guaranteeing they'll sponsor your podcast. No. They probably won't because
the Thompson family, very respectable, very well known.
Because of
you might have to collar your shirt up a little bit if you want to do a meeting with Thompson.
Your prior indiscretions,
your mug shots.
They may be a little hands off.
Make sure you have gum in your mouth when you meet them, because
wait a minute,
just fresh breath.
Past indiscretions. Let's not act like not every other former radio person has skeletons in their closet. We all do.
You do, but yours is the only skeleton with a balloon in its butt. And I can say that.
Yeah, and we can see it.
That's a Dan Dennis promise. Yeah, you can see it, which makes it actually worse than if you were actually alive.
It's right there. It's like someone just
there it is.
fit it in there.
Wow. He's got his pants on the inside.
So, Tuttle,
what about a pest control company? Do you have a pest
control? They stole one of my sponsors.
Just saw them today. I love that, man.
We stole that one from Samantha.
Hold on. I would like to think that was the token of gratitude that she gave you for hiring her. Right.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was under the assumption that once we brought her into our family, very incestuous, that her clients become our clients.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Didn't she try to bring COVID into?
That's a hot take. Don't ever bring that up.
How dare you?
You trying to break us apart? Next, you'll be sending letters to Butler trying to get us fired.
It's
no, it was just. But no, last night I was up late. It's me with a metal spatula and a fillet knife, because I wanted to stun the rat with the spatula.
Well, hold on. Hold on. You're ahead of yourself. You do this sometimes in your sobriety. You're almost crazier than when you were drunk. And I like it. I like it a lot because you jumped into a story and you're like, hey guys, okay, so I'm with the spatula knife and I'm looking at this rat. It's like, we need a starting point. So
yeah, the alcohol actually dulled the craziness a little bit.
It did. I think I'm finding that out too. So, show me, the rat. Where do you find a rat?
Okay, last night I was recording an interview, okay? So I got a bunch of ladders stacked up next to the PT Cruiser, and the rat is there on his hind legs.
He's a listener.
About eye level.
He's listening
like taunting me. No, he's taunting me. Like he's like poking me in the chest, basically like saying, like, you cannot get me because I have used everything, and I can't figure out because I've been told Reese's peanut butter cups. I've been told all types of stuff. The glue traps are absolutely horrible.
Rat bait. You need to know what rats. I always heard peanut butter was the number one rat thing when they were getting the rats out of my old house.
Cheese?
No, I think it's an urban legend.
Yeah. They like straight garbage or candy.
Like every animal that.
Jeez,
most of the animals that people villainize, like I would say rats, sharks, alligators. Those three, rats, sharks, alligators, all candy and junk food. That's all they like.
License plate,
whatever it is. Yeah, they'll eat an old clock.
But they were eating up the wiring and stuff here. And,
the wiring in the PT Cruiser
happening since. Well, no. What I'm trying to say is that my mom's cat died like about 6 months ago, so that's why I think we're having the rodent problem, because everybody thinks, oh, rodents mean you got a dirty house, and that's not really the case. I don't know. Maybe
it doesn't make it clean. It doesn't mean it's dirty, but it doesn't mean it's clean.
Yeah. I've never gone on an airplane and had them hand me a rat to wipe my hands with before I sit out.
So, Tuttle, I'm in the market for an RV.
You came to the right guy.
Yeah. You're just like Tuttle. You just randomly say things.
It really is the same.
Well, I was trying to bail Tuttle out of his rat story.
I mean,
you really
listen,
wanted to bail him out?
Did you have? There was an Indy.
Well, he had a knife and a spatula.
You were interviewing a rat.
Sorry.
Proceed.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I kept telling my mom and dad that there was a monster or something in the bathroom of my bedroom. And yes, I grew up in a double-wide trailer where actually kids' bedroom had a bathroom in it.
Yeah.
And they thought I was a liar. Thought I was a goddamn liar.
Okay, all right. I know you. That's all you had to say. I know that tone. No, I know that tone. I know who said that. Bubba Whoop-Ass Wilson made that famous. I know that means you're dead serious.
Sorry. All right. Well, anyways, we put a glue trap in there, and I heard something moving around, and it was a possum. A possum was crawling through our central air vents, and my dad, I was only a kid, and my dad picked out a 7-iron out of the golf bag.
That's it. You know what? He's got a big, he's got a lot of power if he's using a 7-iron.
Yeah, and he took care of it. Basically just shaved off the top of his skull.
Laid him up right there on the green.
No, I don't know.
Okay, I don't know who you are.
I feel like my first instinct would be to shoo it out of the house, not to bludgeon it to death in front of my son.
I would probably use a copy of Garden and Guns to shoo it out just one of the holes in the walls.
I mean, I have to take bills and a glass cup to get spiders out of the house without hurting its legs.
And I just have little dogs that poop everywhere.
And the saddest thing was after my dad bludgeoned the possum to death.
Can you pause for 1 second?
6 babies. 6. Okay. Sorry.
No, I can't do that now. My God. Hold on. Pause right there. We'll be right back. No, what happened?
6 babies crawled out of its patch, and my dad murdered them as well.
Oh no! Come on!
Things are starting to piece together for me.
Heavy story, my God. The old Seminar massacre.
Mental health.
My God.
No, he just he bludgeoned them.
Semi-iron the babies.
Yes, well, I mean, if they don't have a pouch to go into anymore, then might as well take care of them.
The pouch is laying up on the green, about 4 inches from the cup.
All right, so now are you? I could have gone to the RV 5 minutes ago.
I apologize. You should have just kept going with the RV.
I felt it. I felt the baby killing coming. That's why I swerved. I saw it.
I also apologize.
I saw it from a mile away.
Samantha, that's a double apology. And Butler's not even listening, but he apologizes as well. You were correct, and you, sir, may proceed with RV talk.
So
all right, go ahead. So you're wanting an RV. Are you wanting like fifth wheel, or are you wanting a straight up like RV?
I
want an RV, but Andrea doesn't want.
When you turn the camera, I saw that RV in the background, and I may be interested in it. And I know that, and
what
Tuttle,
year is that?
Everything has a price tag.
Yeah, that's an old.
Wait, are you talking about this one right there?
Yeah.
What is that? That's a 1987 Fleetwood Prowler.
Wait, no, that one. Hold on, sorry, I'm backwards here. That's my my windscreen right there. It's a lawn chair that I tied upside down there. By the way. It's very ghetto studio I have.
No, I like it. Your soundproofing is top notch.
Rat tail for your mic.
You know what's funny is you sound better than most podcasts. Doesn't matter to me. I think you sound great.
Turns out one Staghorn will absorb all the sound. We spent $2,300 on soundproofing in the studio. We
live from the beautiful Staghorn Studios in Hobo Fish Camp.
Staghorn Studios, dude. You should incorporate Staghorn Studios.
We could have just got one Staghorn and then saved all this money.
Probably, because he sounds.
Yeah, but then more due to fuzz.
I mean, we'll talk to somebody super famous and they'll sound like crap. But Tuttle can sit at the Hobo Fish Camp in front of an old trash plant and sounds beautiful.
So Tuttle,
I'm talking on a triple mic.
How's business going?
There's some sponsors that are not paying. How do you guys?
That's a problem. That's a problem.
If there's some sponsors that are not paying.
We've had this problem before.
This is the darker side of the business.
See, what happens is they start paying.
How long do you give them? How long do you give them?
I give forever.
There's a bit of a disagreement with
Yeah. There's some that
I've heard some of the discussions with Butler and Tom.
Yeah, this is where Mommy and Daddy fight sometimes. And
I give them forever.
And then I have to march to Publix and eat a sub mat.
There's no ending. So,
I can't get a hold of my merch guy. I think he might be rotting away in an apartment.
Do a wellness check,
with a shotgun blast or something.
See, this is okay, Tuttle. You are experiencing
growing pains.
The standard growing pains of a small business. Podcast business is no different than any other business, where it starts out strong, right, Tuttle?
Yeah.
Like you get some hype behind you. People start hearing you're doing things. You get on the Tom and Dan show.
You're also kind of on your ass a little bit, like you're watching your P's and Q's. You know,
you haven't you gotten any
you're sharp. You know, your edge is sharp. You've used that honing steel, and you came in razor sharp.
Yeah. You're in a new media form that a bunch of advertisers are eager to get involved in because everything's going digital, everything's going social media. Like all businesses are realizing, like, I gotta switch to this. So you started hot, right? Yeah. And then you get some people behind you. You got the buzzard or whatever.
Vulture.
And then you got...
Vulture.
It's highly disrespectful when you do that. It's almost more disrespectful than if you just called him a bad word, because it means that you don't really care.
How dare you?
I don't think... You know he's a lifelong Marine, right? You know that he's been a Marine his whole life.
I've never seen him. He could be an actual vulture for all I know.
Well, I'll put him on the long list of people that will eventually kill me. I was telling Buller about one today. I was like, this guy will probably kill me. Anyway, so you got the Vulture, you got a new producer. Who knows who that is?
You have a new producer?
Oh, I mean, Vulture is my producer.
Oh, okay. And then there's a 2-for-1 book.
Okay, hey Tom, listen.
I'm trying to help you.
I can easily get him to come down and talk to you face to face and stuff. You know, I mean, if you
listen, I'm already talking to the Vulture about some business, and he's eager.
We might be pulling the Vulture over to Team Tom and Dan.
Yeah.
That would be my luck. You guys would just steal, and you're going to give me Butler.
TDB. That's what we do with every podcast.
Oh, please send Butler to the fish camp.
Oh, hold on a second. Are we doing trades? Hold on.
Hold on. How much to trade Vulture for?
And in the first round of the podcast trade-off,
I'll give you
Orlando's Tom and Dan send point guard Travis Butler to the Hobo Fish Camp for center Vulture.
I'll give you. Hold on. This is like the Deshaun Watson trade.
Okay.
I don't know if the Vultures have any massage indiscretions.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
Does he keep his feathers in his pants?
Yes, he does. No, this is like when we picked Chris Webber at the Orlando Magic and got Penny Hardaway. So,
okay. If
I'll give you Butler 5 straw hats.
Whoa, hold on.
That's a lot.
I'll give you the contact of Thompson Gas.
No, that's a good one.
Can I get some magnets?
Magnuts? Only the ones that are shaped like scrotums. They're called magnuts. It's a new thing.
Magnets. Magnets.
No, magnuts. It's not
okay.
Magnets. It's M-A-G nuts. N-U-T-S.
We'll give you 45 magnuts. And what else do we got?
Orlando Magnuts. Orlando Magnuts.
Can you help me get my PT Cruiser wrapped?
Yes.
Like, do you know anybody?
What do you want it wrapped in? Cellophane? We got you.
We've had wrapping is harder than we thought. It's been years.
Well, it's a bit of a shim trade.
Yeah.
The people that wrap. No offense, but if you wrap cars, you're either really good.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Yeah, leave them on the top.
So
now, how do you get your sponsors that are not paying? to pay?
Back to this. Yeah. So, okay, this is what happens, Huddle. So you get them. Everybody's excited. You're like, this will work. And then there's usually a couple months where it doesn't work, right? And then there's more months where it doesn't work, right? So then they get scared, right? Because they're like, oh my God, I've been shim-shammed.
Well, we got, the way that it's happening.
By Staghorn Productions. and then they're like, I knew it. And then my wife told me not to get involved. She told me just to advertise Orlando Weekly. And then, so instead of, because everybody's awkward, Tuttle, I'm awkward, everybody doesn't want to have any awkward conversations.
Well, you started getting ghosted.
I love it.
So you started getting the, it'll be soon. I put it in the mail. It'll be soon.
Yeah. So,
I put it in the mail. So we got some of that.
First, then they say they put it in the mail, right? So you're, thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh my God, did you go back in time to do that?
And then like 2 weeks later.
Who writes checks?
Tom Van.
Yeah.
We actually write a lot of checks.
He's an old grandfather.
Are you floating? Are you floating checks?
Well, it's not floating. The money's there, but it's there 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, I gotta wait.
It's future.
He can't make the checks float, but we do steal from other places.
Yeah, it's future money. Then you got to take the money from this and put it here and here. It's a big circle.
Right now, we're what is it? 2021. We're in 2023.
Yeah.
On the budget.
Yeah. And then and we're still getting investors, and then we're paying our old investors with the new investors' money. It's a whole thing.
It's kind of
it's
like
how business is done.
It's a circle relationship. It's symbiotic, but it's sort of shaped like a pyramid.
So
it sounds like the plot of Wolf of Wall Street, basically.
So then, Tuttle, they say it's in the mail. Then you have an awkward conversation, like, because then the person ghosts you for a while, right?
And then you get there not picking up.
And then you call them with a different phone. So they know it's not you.
That's what I did, right?
Isn't it awkward if they pick up?
We're not to me yet.
Yeah. You're the last of mine.
Okay.
Then you're going to help Tuttle get his money. Here's the thing. So then you call them with a different cell phone, and they pick up, and then you're
That's
like,
awkward.
and you're like, hey, it's me,
mother.
And then like, oh, hey, did you get the check? I'm like, nah, it didn't come. They're like, did you check the mail? And then I'm like, yeah. Did you check all the boxes? And I'm like, well, I didn't check the studio. Like, I think it's in the studio,
bushes.
not the P.O. box. You're like, oh, okay, sorry. And then you're like, oh my God, like I insulted this guy.
How dare you?
And then you're like, oh, he's like, yeah, it's in there. You go, thank you. And then you hang up and you go, and nothing.
And then you got to give it 5 more months.
Then 5 more months. Then you have a nervous breakdown because you're like, I can't do this anymore. This business is too hard. Like, no one pays anything. I'm like, I'm not cut out for this.
People aren't honest.
Yeah. I was a clown. I have no business doing this.
People aren't honest. I mean, they're trying to cheat you.
Who thought I could do this? This is stupid.
And then
Crystal told me.
Yeah, that's
so then Daniel comes in and he's like, I'll call that MF. And then Daniel calls and then starts threatening the receptionist.
I did call. I got the receptionist.
Not threatening.
I did not threaten.
But you threatened to tell the world. You threatened. You said that.
I said, "Are you being paid?" Is the first thing I asked her. And she said yes, and I said, "Well, I'm not."
Yeah. And they're like, "One day you won't either."
That is what I said.
and then you embarrass the person's employees, and then all of a sudden, ding, PayPal.
It was like that. It was like
that's how it works.
It was like we called it.
That's how business works.
Like 25 minutes later, Sam Thomas in there eating, and he's like, "Oh, it just came through."
What is the worst business deal that you have made since you've been doing the podcast? Tom.
I can't even.
Try to answer it honestly.
There's probably one this morning. I don't know. They keep getting worse. Well, I will tell you the most embarrassing early on. And we've told this story before.
I love how people are slamming us in the chat room, especially me for not paying Casey, our editor at Real Radio. But we want our money. You're right. You're 100% right.
What's on? If they're going to do it, we'll do them. But not them, but other people.
If they don't deserve it.
People that don't deserve it, yeah.
We'll do it to the people we love.
If you put one of ours in the hospital, I'll put Casey in the grave. Like, why? Why would you do that? I don't know. I'm mad.
So it took 2 months for me to get paid for being special guest referee against Seth Petrozelli and stuff.
Oh, God, that was 3 years ago. It was a different world then.
I just got mad that I paid you for it.
Hey, I know. God, I looked at some of those pictures, and I looked so disgustingly fat and
I just saw you. I thought you looked good. It looked like you got your life together. Got a job at Foot Locker. Killing it.
So there was one of our first sponsors ever, because we didn't have that many sponsors. We just relied on subscribers, BDMs first, and because we still work for a company, blah, blah, blah. And then we got some money from this app called Word-A-Bugs.
It's called Word-A-Bugs. Think
it's one of our first ever sponsors.
Think remember when Words with Friends was popular about, was it like 10 years ago or something? It's got to be like that now. Words with Friends was huge. It's kind of like the same thing.
So I had no idea, because we didn't know what to charge this person for advertising, or we didn't have any advertising packages. But I was like, well, I can do this. I'll just make it up. Like everything. So I was like, we'll do this, and for $250, which at the time I thought was like, oh my God, no one's going to pay this. This is an absurd amount of money I'm asking for.
And we were preparing to set aside each a cool $125 for our daughters and sons' college education, because we thought we'd hit the mother.
I'm like, if we make this, we'll never work again.
I'm like, I believe you.
But Tom, though, remember back in the day, like all the at our old station, like all the big names. Like if there was a promotion to go stand in front of a 7-Eleven or something, they'd be like, no, we're good. And then it would be like all the hungry part-timers that are sold like, hey, this is a great opportunity for you. We would all jump on that money for those 7-Eleven gigs. I would stand out in front of any single place for that amount of money.
$150 an hour.
Who wouldn't do that? I mean, you'd be stupid to not do that.
Well, if you're rich already, you don't know.
So, in all seriousness, are you having some issues collecting? Because, I personally believe that Tom's approach, even though we told that story and it's funny. I believe that Tom's approach to it is the best approach because there are times when people get in a pickle. We know what it's like to get in a pickle.
Well, here's the funny thing of the Wordabug story is then maybe 3 weeks later we see a PayPal because we used to have a donation button on our front of our page, and then we saw someone donated $250 to our PayPal, and we're like, oh man, this guy's an ultra listener. He's awesome.
Yeah.
We should send this guy a thank you email.
Who would send us $250?
And then we wrote this email, but me and Daniel like to
pour on the snark, pour on the Tom and Dan thick.
We like to mess because we're like, if he listens to us, if he's that much of a listener, just give us $250, then he knows that we're messing around with him.
So we give him the full Tom and Dan.
Yeah. So we started bullying him. We called his wife fat. This whole thing. Like, we didn't even know who this was.
Yeah, we did call his wife fat, which I don't know why we did that.
And then we sent it, and we're like, he'll get a kick out of that because he's an ultra listener.
And we're like, delivering the goods.
It was a Wordabug advertisement.
Yeah, it was the advertisement. He paid us through the donation button, and we called his wife fat.
Because we forgot.
Jesus.
No, we didn't say fat. I think we said a bitch. We're like, too bad. We were just saying.
We're riffing.
We didn't even know him. We didn't even know the advertising. And then anyway, so that was pretty embarrassing. Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha's here. Butler is here. How you doing, buddy? Good morning.
Good.
Almost afternoon.
So, Tom and Dan, landcruise.com. If you want some tickets, there may be some left, 1 or 2 boxes by now. Anyway, want to thank Just Call Mo and also ABC and Sports Subaru for sponsoring our event on April 17th. You can go to tomanddanlandcruise.com.
Yep.
And speaking of cruise sponsors, we have a sponsor in studio, Deborah from Fairville Megastore. How you doing, Deborah?
I'm doing great.
Woo, woo, woo. We haven't seen you in a minute. It's always nice to have you come in.
You've been traveling.
We have. Yeah, we just got back from Colorado, and I was telling you a little bit during the break, of how poor I am at skiing, but how good my daughter is at skiing, and that's all that matters.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah. I'm a little old to be learning it, but hey, I did it.
That's right.
I did it.
Mm-hmm. So, Deborah, how you doing?
It's crazy. This is the week that our F Awards are being announced on our Facebook and Instagram pages.
Yes.
Pretty exciting.
It's crazy that it's been a year since, because somehow time has gone by slow and fast at the same time. I don't know how that has
missed a year.
And for people like me,
but it seemed slow when it was going on. But now that it's been a year, it's like, whoa, that happened fast.
100%. If you watch on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live, you'll notice that most of the time I go to Sam or Tom for anything that I have to remember because I just have a very poor memory. This year has been exceptionally bad because I don't really, even markers that I would typically use to try to line, it's all running together. In fact, when we were talking to you guys about even doing some presentations or whatever for the F Awards, I kind of thought we'd just done it.
I know, it's weird, right?
Yeah, it's insane.
It was a blink of an eye. And for us to take this virtual, we're a little sad because we're known for our in-person events. And last year you guys were there. Yeah. But, we want to be safe, but we still want to celebrate all the great products that we sell.
Sure.
So for all the way till next Wednesday, we're announcing different categories of awards. And you can find out every day. There's going to be a new announcement that includes today. Check us out online on our social media.
Last year at the F Awards, I was eating a chicken sandwich next to Butler
you didn't bring this up.
And we were in the video section, and he was, because Butler is a baby, he's older than I am. But a lot of people don't realize that Butler is older than...
He's the oldest member of the show at 51.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that.
And he's looking and laughing like a child.
He's doing like the cartoon, like it doesn't even seem real. He's like, like it's a cartoon stoner laugh.
Yeah.
And then he messed up the person's name when I presented with him. It was embarrassing.
Oh, did he? I forgot about that.
So that's right.
Yeah. Do you remember we messed up the name?
We knew he was going to mess it up. I said there's a 100% possibility that you
I looked into his eyes.
I wanted to switch with Dan and have Dan present with me and Butler present with Tom.
No, that would have No, I'm always with Tom. If you get Tom, you get Dan. That's the way it works. It's always. I'm the wart.
Stony Baloney Brothers.
I am the wart on the side of him. I will never leave. But yeah, I did mouth to him when he messed up on stage. I was like, That's your client. Just to watch him sweat.
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Yeah.
So let's talk some products you brought in today because we have a whole table full. So
I brought some things that represent some of the nominees for this week and some of the really fun stuff, just so you don't forget that we carry some of these really interesting products. And Gumball Poodle was actually nominated in 2 categories. Gumball Poodle are socks. Oh. And one happened to be a specific sock that I could not bring in and show anybody because it was a little more graphic.
Oh my God.
But it basically talked about how you kind of like to do yourself. And but I brought a couple other fun ones. The Be Kind to Animals or I'll Kill You sock. Nice. And then of course in lieu of our current situation, social distancing sucks, but please do it. So, these are fun, but there are all kinds of variety of Gumball Poodle, and we sell them so well year round. And
they're good quality socks too. They're nice.
Yeah,
I got gifted a pair of these kind of crazy socks. They're good. They're good socks.
Yeah. So win or lose, you have to come by and check out the Gumball Poodle because
these are cool, man.
It's a strong nominee.
And they're not very they're a value. They're not very expensive at all. You can get
and you can have some fun.
A cool little novelty gift, and you don't, and it's a little more. It's like somebody asked me the other day, how would you describe the novelty products or the fun products that Fairvilla has? And I came up with this. I thought it was pretty good. There have been, we all know that one particular store that's been in the mall that we all know about that carries sometimes these stores.
Yeah.
But their stuff's been dialed down. It's not
the quality.
Yeah, and it's not as edgy or not as cool.
Yeah.
So if you want to be able to still get what maybe you got in the late 80s, early 90s, like I did,
come down.
But you gotta come to Fairvilla because there is it is a step above.
It's all vetted, super high quality stuff.
You pick this stuff personally.
We do.
It's
our buyers really pride themselves on picking the best stuff and some of the funniest and so on. And we also have a wellness category. And one of the companies we really haven't talked about with you guys is Uberlube, which is actually a silicone lube with a really cool name. And they're nominated this year. And I brought this really cool little travel-sized case they have. It's all air, sealed, so the air does not get inside your bottle. It's a pump bottle.
Yeah.
So there's no bacteria that gets back into your lube. It lasts forever. And this just happens to be a really cool carrying case. So next time you travel, it won't leak into your bag, which if silicone lube leaks into your stuff, that's rough, man.
It's bad. It's not good.
It's excellent lube, but a wonderful, cool travel little metal carrying case and the actual
I'll never forget,
right
we were on our way to Washington, D.C. in 7th grade, and Drew Waddell's suitcase had a bottle of Drakkar in it that broke on the bus.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God, we hated Drew Waddell.
I didn't know.
That's a headache, man.
Oh, God,
that is a headache.
So stinky.
You're not supposed to expose your lube to open air because I keep my lube in a big vat.
Yeah.
And then when
a fooder, like an old beer fooder.
And then when it browns on top, like an avocado, I just cut the brown off. And underneath,
you can still use that's still good lube.
That's what I do.
That's all fresh lube.
Get that layer off the top. Just skim it.
This is Uber lube.
Give that to the dog.
By the way, try to buy this when there is not a pricing surge going on. That's a joke. That's an Uber joke. I'm sorry. It's stupid. Yeah, the price stays the same on this. And again, this is like a little over $10. I mean, these are really, really awesome gifts that you can get, and the presentation's awesome, and you're not breaking the bank.
Yeah, we just don't want you to forget that we have all these really awesome wellness items, and that is affordable.
Do they make pressurized lube, kind of like what would be in a silly string can? You know what I'm saying?
That's not a bad idea for fun play.
So you could hit it from
this guy's
10 feet away.
I think you might want to patent that idea.
Deborah, I have a theory that this whole thing that he's been playing for years about, I don't like this. I don't like talking about wellness.
He's a freak. You're saying he's a freak.
Well, because he comes up with these ideas. I think about. I'm like the whole idea
freak in
of
the sheets, businessman on the street.
I've seen people have colorful phones, and there are gold dust that you can dust on people, or candles that are edible, and so like a silly string play phone that you can put on your wife's boobs it's not that far fetched. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean we have foam toy cleaner, but why not make some kind of a creamy foamy lube that kind of shoots out. That'd be
But like,
fun.
hey now,
you know, like a wasp spray can.
Yes, black, like
it has a trigger.
Dog the Bounty Hunter Bear Mace lube.
You could hit an ice pipe from 20 feet away.
Yeah, and it says skin on skin Hawaiian justice. That's what he calls fisticuffs.
I bet you could get Dog to at least we could pay him to have his face on the. You know what I'm saying? That's cheaper. Like
I can't use this because I have to squeeze the base so hard.
Oh, come on. All right. Sorry.
Okay, another wellness item you probably don't think about for Fair Villa is CBD Daily. And this is actually by Earthly Body, which we carry their massage oils, which are fantastic. They're hemp-based products. And the CBD Daily is phenomenal for aches and pains.
Yeah, I have a lot of those. You've brought in their oils before, right?
I have brought in their massage oils. And, CBD creams can get rather pricey, but I feel like what you get for the value in that product is great.
Smell this, dude. Smell that.
I'm a big fan of a CBD. I don't know if you knew that, Deborah.
Me too. In the morning, just a little, and
CBD.
The coffee. Try to get a healthy breakfast.
Yeah.
Take your vitamin.
There's nothing wrong with that. We got to take care of ourselves internally and externally.
Absolutely.
Right?
Well, I think a lot of people forget. And I think that without saying too much or making anybody feel weird, I know that my wife and I have dedicated ourselves to all aspects of trying to make ourselves healthier. And that does include sex.
Absolutely.
You may not think that. A lot of times you leave out sleep and sex, right? You think about food and you think about water, but you don't necessarily think about rest, and you certainly don't think about your whatever you need, your needs sexually. So
absolutely,
I think it's something else to think about.
I mean, there's so much value, and just from the endorphins themselves that are released. But hey, go burn some calories.
Yeah, super healthy.
And then I just had to bring you guys, which I don't know if we can really show them on air, but some of the soaps from Ramrod Novelties, because they are so cool. Wet Willies were one of our nominees this year. And it's a new company for us, and it's made in the Keys, Florida Keys.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
yes.
This is it's like almost like artesian Key West. I guess that encompasses the whole area, right? Key West weenie soap.
Yeah.
There you go.
Key West Soap D's.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Key West Soap D's. Perfect.
Yeah. It's that we have fun gifts, and that's like the socks, and that's the category that they were in. And you should not take yourself too seriously.
They make the other thing too if you need that.
I like. I hope Mr. Ramrod proclaimed and he was.
He was knighted. He was knighted last year. How could you forget?
Sorry, I apologize, Sir Ramrod.
William Ramrod.
I hope that he was in a small town, in.
You ain't never gonna be nothing, Ramrod. You're just a good for nothing old farmer, Ramrod. You ain't good for nothing.
And then I hope
you take your soaps and you get the hell out of this town.
You'll see, one day I'm going to move to Key West and make soap D's, and you'll all be, you'll learn your lesson.
You'll see, I'll pull up in this town in a Lamborghini with a big old license plate that says Soap D money on it.
And then now he's in Key West making soap D's and just killing it.
Actually, they have an Etsy shop and play.
They do. And it is actually a female-owned company.
They're so awesome. Yeah. I checked out all their stuff, and it is female-owned, and you can check them out and support them because they are, that's as homegrown as you can get as a product in Fair Villa. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely. We like to support that when we can.
We should interview her because
let's do it.
It's fascinating.
Can we do that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
She knows we like that kind of stuff. So
I think she has maybe a sense of humor. It'd be funny if she didn't know.
It'd be so serious.
It'd be funny if you make one joke about my products. It'd be like, oh my God. Total straight interview. What kind of soap do you use? Thank you.
Now I kind of wish we did this off air and then said, can you try and play this straight and then get mad at us? Pretend like you get mad at us for making soap D jokes and take it so seriously. But you know what? To answer people's questions, if you obviously can't see them, they are very realistic.
Yeah.
These kind of businesses, you see these on Shark Tank and things like this, where someone they do the presentation and you see their product and you're like, oh, how'd you start? And they all have the same story. They're like, well, I started making these as a hobby, and then some of my friends and family wanted some, so I started just giving them to them, and then they started hey, we want to buy some more for this, and then I started selling them out of my apartment, and then they literally cut you oh, what was your sales last year? $875,000. You're like, oh my God, that's a big jump from selling a couple to your Meemaw, and then $875,000. But it's always the same thing. Like it blows up.
Yeah,
and they're strictly soap, right? Is that
those are soaps, and
that's all they do, right?
That's it.
That's crazy.
That's it. Yeah,
very, very cool.
And they do have some non-phallic shapes too.
Sure,
but this is the claim to fame.
Because the soap is good too. That's the thing. Is that like the mold is hilarious, but it's actually nice soap.
And don't worry, I'm leaving these here for you to put in your bathroom.
Oh,
so
that's
you got
fantastic.
People don't utilize the D enough because
it's a good cleaning utensil.
Marketing-wise, it's I would say probably the most well-known worldwide symbol. Right? Like if you were just going to do an easy symbol.
I can see one more than a stop sign.
I feel like everybody in every culture would be like, oh, I know what that is. Yeah. And
what do we make it mean? Because it can mean a lot of things.
And I remember one time that we did Golden D mugs at a bar promotion, and people looked at us and like professionals, grown-ups.
It was the bar manager.
Who's gonna want this? This is absurd. Like no one's gonna want a mug with a Golden D on it.
Lined up for 2 hours.
They literally they're like, what? They're like, this is the most absurd thing. I'm like, I think they would have want.
I should get you one for the store.
I think we should have one.
I never got one of those.
I have to find mine. Andrea stashed them because they're so rare.
Yeah.
1 hour, like people waited in line like Lady Gaga tickets. There was an hour before there was a line of 100 people. We only had like 75.
Man, I don't hope I didn't give mine away, but you're right.
People love the D.
They do.
They do love the D. Thank goodness, because I was in the store and we had such a great weekend. There a lot of D's were off the shelf. I'm just saying.
It's not utilized enough.
It's been hit before a hurricane.
Thank you, pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. What else we got?
So, some of the other things I wanted to kind of shift gears, although a lot of the items I just showed you would go really well with an adult Easter basket because that's coming up too. And so I brought some things, it's all about the bunnies and eggs at Fairvilla. And I've shown some of the stuff before, like our Tanga eggs, which everybody loves. You guys remember those?
Tanga eggs.
It's a little
Butler's still working on his first one.
Sleeve and an egg for the D, as we like to say.
See this one.
Yep.
I can hold this one up. This one's pretty cool.
You can certainly open it up if you'd like.
Oh, okay. I'll do it then. This one, Easy Beat. This is the Easy Beat Stepper.
Adult Easter basket sounds like a medical problem. It's like,
if you're suffering from adult Easter basket, you may have a case for a class action lawsuit.
What has he got going on back there, Doc? He's got an adult Easter basket.
If you have an adult Easter basket and uterine mesh, you can be compensated. Sorry, I don't even know what uterine mesh is, but every time I hear it, I yell.
Can we open the egg?
Yeah.
No, Tom, I'm just going to masturbate in front of our guest. I'm leaving.
I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh. They do come like
for a second. I'm very stressed out today. I got this bingo coming up. Like, do you know how to do bingo? Because if not, I'm going to town.
It's going to ruin our company.
Enough with the bingo.
Oh, wait, hold on a second.
And it has a little lube inside.
Yeah, okay, this is the guy.
That just holds the egg shape.
You pull that out. It almost looks like an OB tampon.
That's so true.
The old school OBs. I used to see them, they fall on the ground. I'd be like, that's not big enough.
Come on.
Yeah, you got a little lube.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got the
egg.
Yeah. And then you got like a little.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's basically it.
That's how we do it.
It's high tech.
Yeah,
but
I got one in my wallet.
I noticed that thing was looking big. A big ballooning wallet.
Gnats
been carrying it around a while or what?
Your wallet's crawling across the ground.
Yeah, so that would be perfect to throw in the old Easter basket.
Yeah.
But just make sure it's in yours. I want to have you explain this to my daughter.
No,
the tub toy. Give me the lube.
If a kid found that, they would know what it. Yeah. They're like, what is that?
Look at the water weenie.
If anybody, if my pop-up found that, he wouldn't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, that's actually a decent question. Deborah, do you ever... Man, I'm going to hit you with something serious, actually, for once. Do you ever have any of your maybe a little bit older clientele that still want to, because I do worry about that. I think about it. Andrea and I've made jokes before about like, what are we going to be doing when we're like in our 60s and 70s? Well, hopefully we'll be doing this, right?
Right.
I think
people
that's
are doing it longer,
right? And that's what you want to do. Yeah,
right.
that's what you want to do. But like, do you ever have any of them that maybe they'll
hold on? Medicine helps your wife not be a bitch.
This guy's killing me today.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to have to do a show with your wife.
Do another one.
No, because then you'll see. We're like, oh my God, the guys are the horrible ones.
Do they ever have to get extra instruction? Or, because I know you guys would be more than willing.
It's usually more about materials and things like that. They might not be as familiar with the migration to silicone materials. Right. And, I can remember being in this store, it's been a few years now, where I've had gentlemen come in and shop for their wives, older gentlemen.
Sure.
Or older partners. And they think that they want something very specific, very old school. And we're like, let us show you the possibilities here. I can guarantee you we can show you something that you're going to like better.
Right.
So, there are those situations, but I'm finding that people are a little more adventurous now. Good. And people are more connected through social media and things like that. They already are pre-shopping.
Right.
So they get an idea, or they hear about something, or they come in and they seem to be a little more open.
Okay.
And man, I'm sure, like, if they talk about how little products there were, like, even probably 20, 30 years ago or something, what I'm saying? Like the amount and the availability. It's like, back in the day, you'd have to go to the one store and there was before the internet, and it was whatever they had, and they probably, the internet made it so advantageous for businesses and easy for them to sell. Like it advanced the products, and like now everything is rechargeable and made out of the best possible material and the best possible size and shape. And it's research and development.
Technology,
the technology
is nuts.
And what is that?
This new Sensuelle, by the way, was also nominated for their entire line of product for their packaging.
It's phenomenal
because it's all super clear, easy to understand. It's kind of Apple-esque, and it's white and really graphically pleasing.
It's got the magnetic closures. That's fancy.
Easy for us to open it up, show it to you.
I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. Now, I know a lot of consumers are not, but if you're listening, people that produce things, I'm a sucker for the magnetic closures, the nice little piece of paper over the screen, the little tag. I like it. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
It's so much easier to open than a regular box, which, by the way, I've already opened one here and ripped the box. They don't like for me to come into the store because I ripped
Butler, get the tape.
So what I've got here is called the petite egg. So we have the egg for the guy, and now we have the egg for, actually anybody. Anybody can enjoy
that's true.
This egg.
I mean, if I wanted to...
It's a remote control egg, and the remote actually vibrates too, so you kind of know what the egg is doing.
So you actually feel...
You kind of feel what's happening.
Now we're truly connected.
Petite egg by New Sensuelle.
Now we
remote.
are truly connected.
Well, change it.
Now we are
Give him the goods, Tom.
You're going to stop it.
Hold on.
That's like real life. He turned me off.
There it is. Hold 3 button. Oh, no.
There are 3 buttons.
Whoa, hold on.
New Sensuelle is known for their power.
Hold on. Yeah. I'm blacking out. I see the ghost of Mr. Chicken. This thing is powerful.
Super powerful. Yep, they're known for power, for sure.
My cell phone's ringing. Hold on. It's Ron Jeremy. He's a terrible.
So that's pretty interesting that the remote actually shows you the speed and the veracity of it.
Wow.
It's under $100 and rechargeable.
Word of the day today.
This guy's, I'm telling you, he's been gaslighting us.
Are you trying to turn it off?
That's all right.
Oh, no, back on. Hold on.
We're open,
Usually
baby.
you hold the buttons down for a few seconds and they will turn off. Did it work?
No, I just screwed it up. I'm sorry.
You can just hang on to that.
I put it somewhere and I can't get it out. Oh, it's dancing. It's dancing.
And, if all else fails, usually there's an off button on each device.
There needs to be like a jet ski bracelet.
Oh, yeah, so you fall off.
Yeah, you fall off. And it just starts circling the bed.
There's your other idea. Patent that idea.
Baby, your dilder's...
I appreciate that stand-up jet ski joke. You got the good.
Well, I try to charm you.
Awesome.
Not piss you off today.
Evolved also a nominee, but for a slightly different toy. This is one of their newest. It's called Bunny Kisses. It's really petite. It's silicone wrapped toy, rechargeable, waterproof. I think they have it's 10 functions. I don't know
10
if you need all 10, but all their products come with a 5-year warranty.
My God.
Yeah.
I don't think my car has a 5-year warranty.
And of course, now it probably won't turn on because I did. Oh, there it goes. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yay. So, it looks like a little bunny on the outside, little bunny ears for external stimulation.
This thing's got lights, too.
Yeah. Super cool. It's
you
very neutral looking. Really fun item.
Yeah, this one's great.
I want to be the worst adult toy manufacturer ever, and then to do my presentation, be like, "This is rechargeable. It's got the 2 pleasure points, one in the front, one in the back. Yeah. It vibrates at the perfect consistency, pulsates, it continual vibrates. It is not waterproof. No, do not get it anywhere near water. It'll severely burn you. Why did you make it like that? It'll rust. It'll burn. It'll explode.
Nice.
These do people I'm wondering what's more popular. Is it because I see a lot of designs that have the top and the bottom.
Yeah, the bottom's the canoe.
Yeah.
And the top is...
It's like a pointer.
Yeah.
We all know what it's for. Yeah. But do a lot of customers...
The canoe goes in the canoe storage. And then the what did you call it?
Yeah.
The rider...
it tickles your hat.
Yeah, and the rider tickles the hat. Yeah. Perfectly
Oh, my gosh, I'm going to use
the canoe and the hat. Your mom and dad didn't tell you about the canoe and the hat?
So do a lot of people want the hat tickler or no?
A lot of people do because a lot of people need that stimulation to reach the end.
Yeah, yeah. Like if I'm talking about my wife, which we share on this show, she's not a canoe only lady. She likes me wearing a hat.
Oh, okay. Don't tell me that.
Don't talk about your hat.
Don't talk about her hat.
This
you can leave your hat on.
Does
Joe Cocker.
Does a company have the rights or this company to call it Rabbit? Like, is that a copyright?
Volkswagen owns that.
Because
you see a few companies that will use Rabbit, but it kind of it's overused. So they have to come up with a new name for all these new products. So you'll see some takeoffs on that. But, there's some great rabbits out there that are actually called rabbits. Bunnies, rabbits. And speaking of bunnies, I brought you a bunny tail.
What? Oh, I know what that is.
And the tail actually does come off.
Oh, cool.
Looks like Tuttle's microphone.
And it's for the back end. And
it does look like Tuttle's microphone.
It's super cool. It's made by Love Honey. And Love Honey also makes...
Hey there, ladies. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Love Honey also makes the 50 Shades of Grey toys. So real quality.
Cool.
It's a European, it's an English, British company.
Hello, no sex, please. We're British.
Now these are more. Oh, it's vibrating. I didn't know that.
See?
Yeah.
So
I surprised you.
These are more of a novelty, but also can be used regular as well. But it seems like someone would use this to stunt or to show off or to they're at a maybe a group party or something where they
want something a little decorative.
Yeah, so it's interesting that this can be possible.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It seems
we brought a lot of toys in with something on the a tail or whatever. But what's nice about this is the tail actually comes off. So easy enough to clean the product and
and then you don't have to get your tail wet. I've thought about that before because especially with these type of things that you're wearing that might have something that can get wet or sticky you gotta be a little more careful with that.
Yep, it's not real fur, people. I promise you that.
Yeah,
this one is actually faux, and everything's waterproof. So
could you stick anything magnetic to the end of that?
I don't I haven't tried.
Just saying. I mean, you could make it really handy. Like those things where you extend it, you get a screw that fell down to the bottom of your dots. I have
my dad had a bunch of those.
Yeah, you pull it telescopic. Hey, honey, come out here.
They're for this kind of thing and to find your screws.
I lost there's an idle screw that fell out of my Vespa.
It's down there. It's in the oil pan. I can't reach
the oil pan.
And, we have lots of other bunnies, lots of butterflies. And again, if you want to make a naughty basket for your partner, I mean, we have the candies, we have the oils. But
I love this idea because I don't have kids, so I'm going to have to tell my husband I want an adult Easter basket.
You guys say naughty basket.
Naughty basket.
Naughty basket.
Yeah, you really do. It's so much fun. You can get really inventive. And, in our store, we'll help you.
Yeah.
We got the people to help you.
There's so many products you have. I mean, do you even, I guess there's probably some sort of computer system that will tell you the exact amount of products you have. But, I mean, it's in the thousands, right?
I think I asked her that one time, and the answer was, I'm not doing it.
I think my eyes probably glazed over.
I think we just asked the same question before because,
it's got to be thousands and thousands.
Oh, yeah.
And it changes all the time.
Yeah, and it's changing as we're going into the spring and summer. All new lingerie coming in, and more toys are going to be switched out in the next few weeks. It's been challenging because honestly, you probably have heard that, and when you go shopping at any place right now, the ports are backed up as far as products coming from overseas, and and a lot of it comes in through LA.
Yeah.
So be patient when you're shopping because sometimes it takes us a little bit longer to get products in than we normally would. But we're doing a great job. We have a lot of products in the stores to sell, and for sure.
Interesting. Is that a Bluetooth speaker?
It looks like it.
It looks like the case for my Bluetooth speaker.
I had to bring this in. I just got this sample this week. It's actually not going to be available till May, so you're getting a very early sneak peek. I just talked with the guy who's distributing this in the United States.
Hello.
And it's called the Snail. I kid you not.
Oh, Tom.
What
Tom's
is going on with the Snail?
That's a new design.
Yeah, that is. Wowie!
So your canoe, right?
Yeah.
What? Going into the canoe?
Whoa! There's the canoe.
And it's got two motors on it. One is up here at the at your hat.
That'll knock your hat right off.
So you got one here. For the people who like powerful wands, I was really shocked. This is an extremely powerful device. I have it on the
snail.
I have it on the first speed. I'm going to hand it to you.
Yeah.
And then just play with the positive buttons, and it will take it up.
I mean, snails are slow but
super quiet.
Right?
What's the other ball at the other end of the snail?
Don't ask about that.
The one ball is your control mechanism is there. So it's really great if you actually need something to grip onto. If you have problems maybe with your hands and holding on to toys. So,
they
or someone could assist your canoe.
That is exactly right. You can use it externally.
They vibrate in what do you call that?
Sync.
Independently,
or
in sync. Yeah, this is nuts.
Yeah, they can work independent.
This is the perfect gift for some sort of musician or music director or whatever, because I feel like you could.
It's a trouble.
It looks like a music note. Yeah,
well, you could have this out on your counter.
I love music.
Yeah,
that's just me with a bass clef because I'm such a cool bass player.
But it does look like a snail. I thought the name was going to be really off-putting, but after I put it in my hands, I'm like,
it's
not, great.
Snail. The name snail is not off-putting. The name trail is not off-putting. When you combine them, they're kind of off-putting, I feel like. And that was the 80s or the 70s, I feel like, that did that.
What's fascinating is
you can't turn any of these devices off. That's fascinating to me. Impossible to turn off.
How they found... Oh, man.
It's going crazy.
She told you it's powerful.
Crazy.
You're about to blow your fingers off.
It's like how they came up with this.
How's that feel on your carpal tunnel? Put your wrists on.
Apparently, there was a lot of science actually behind it.
That's what I'm talking about. With
get
research
the women in here. Get the snails in here.
With the research and development, like no company would have the money to put into figuring this out. And before this, right? It's like
now they do.
And now they're like, we can come up with a new design that works better for. I'm sure everybody's different.
There is the Dyson of dildos, right? There's that guy that's going to
we can do this better.
Yes.
There's got to be a better way that we can change the average dildo.
Yep, that was it. I think in a nutshell, right?
Yeah, I think he'd say something like that, and then make this new cool product.
And honestly, I feel like the price is comparable to other premium brands. It's going to be about $150 and completely rechargeable, warranted.
You look just absolutely perplexed.
It's incredibly powerful. But May won't be here till then.
What's interesting is because with this silicone material, you'd have to figure out the perfect mold with the perfect amount of resistance.
Yeah. And it's all smooth. There's no hard edges on that whatsoever, so I don't even know how they did that.
But it's like the resistance actually has to be dialed in perfect.
Yeah, it's almost like spring loaded in some way.
Well, and that's to give that constant pressure to the outside of the body, and it's pretty magnificent because it gives just the right amount of pressure. You're never going to lose contact.
Right.
That's where it comes with there's research.
You're always got your hand on your hat.
Some inventor went through hundreds of these, figuring out what the right tension is.
What's the biggest problem when you get on a roller coaster? Your hat blows off. I'm going to solve that problem. Imagine sitting on the roller coaster but having two hands on the brim of your hat while you're flying through the tunnel. That's where the snail comes in. It's snail hat technology.
That's exactly.
I'm the Dyson of dildos. Well, Deborah, that's awesome. I mean,
what else? You have to end with the snail. I mean, that's it. But
he's pretty rad. I already made him gave him a name.
Yeah, May.
It
should be in. I just don't have a date yet, but just keep checking back with us.
And what was the company again?
Well, just know it as the snail right now.
Okay. All right. Ooh, I asked a secret question.
Yeah, it's like I said, just got that. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be redistributed. It's going to have a new outer shell for the box, so I will know soon.
Beautiful.
Cool.
I'm excited. I was so excited. I said, can I talk about it today?
The chat room already sold. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Frog
Maybe I
and
better
Molly.
take some pre-orders.
Yeah, well, you could. I mean, you could call them up.
Let's talk about some stuff going on at Fairvilla.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, this week we're announcing all of our F Award winners, and we'll be, featuring them prominently in our stores. And we're going to do a little wrap-up show. Like I said, we hated not doing something live, so we're actually going to do a curtain call event on April 1st from about 8 till 9-ish. Probably will run a little after 9, I think. We're going to have giveaways with trivia contests. We're going to have some of the winners, winning companies online, so you can ask questions about your toys and what they do and whatever you want to ask. Our education team's going to be online.
Sweet.
I'll be online, and it's April 1st. It is an Eventbrite ticketed event. It's free, so just go to any of our social media pages to get that link, or onto fairvilla.com.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, Deborah, it's awesome having you in.
Super fun. Love it.
Glad to be back.
Yeah, thank you for bringing all these awesome gifts and toys and things that we could buy and our listeners can buy.
Indeed.
And it's been great. And fairvilla.com if you want to go to their website.
Mm-hmm. Or you can always call. I know a lot of people like to just call, and you can you can explain to them how safe or what limitations you have, and they'll work with you. They are very, very, very accommodating, and that's why we
bring
love them
your
so
mask.
much.
Then if not, we have some, and we're there to help you. We'll show you anything you want to see.
Absolutely.
Cool. And we'll be right back with more Corporate Time.